All right, let me go get a coffee. Oh, fill up my pipe, my bowl pipe. Get this shit going. What's up, dudes? We file in. Hold on a second. What up, Matt Markland? How are you, bro? How are you, guy? How we doing? I will hold on one sec. Let me grab my coffee and then we'll start. This is the East, but we'll start. What's up, Damon Dodson? How are you, bro? I am wonderful. I just left the gun range with my little brother. It was lovely. We shot 50 cals and stuff. It was lovely. Let's see. Oh, what up? Duke Nova Championship. I see it from the story. I wanted to put Duke in so bad, dude. I don't think you know how bad as a Duke fan with Coach K's final season. I obviously wanted to do it so bad. I didn't end up being able to do it, to be honest. I haven't been in the Final Four, though. Carson, I have Kentucky in my championship game. I can see them winning it. Hold on one sec. What the fuck am I looking for? I don't know what I was going to get. What did I just say I was going to get? Tyler, what's up, dude? Little J Wright, Coach K. I can dig it. We will, I guess maybe a tiny first look. I don't have a lot on the board today besides Notre Dame. So I'm taking Notre Dame over Rutgers today. Noah, I know, dude. I feel like naked. I feel like I haven't done this in a while. My brain isn't working. Can I show everything real quick? I can run through. Showtime Lake Show. So for everybody that joined, I have a bracket contest. We'll talk about the conference tournament bracket contest once more people file in. I have to touch on that real quick. But I have a bracket contest in my dad trails. What's up, bro? I have a bracket contest in my bio. I already filled mine out, so I think you can look at mine. So in my Linktree thing, there's a bracket contest for all the people in the chat. There'll be some prize, I don't know what, at the end, but I think you should be able to just join. Let me know if you can't. And my whole bracket's filled out. I have a couple amendments. I might not. The what is that region? Maybe like the Midwest. I think the Midwest. I had a hard time with. I had a very hard time with. I think Gonzaga's getting bounced by either Memphis or Boise State. I think either one. But we can start breaking it down. The only thing I took today so far is Notre Dame over Rutgers. I didn't want to do it. I don't want to be playing against our boy Ron Harper. I really don't want to do it. But my problem is that the spacing. When you watch them play any team with spacing this year, there were really, really big problems. Rutgers wasn't as able to do it. I think even if you blanket with their two really good defenders, you blanket two guys, that's the whole point of Notre Dame is that they kind of have like as many pieces as you need to have. Another thing, if anybody wants to pull it up, if you have like a computer handy too, I don't know whether it would be helpful for anyone. It was helpful for me in going through the bracket. If you go to my Linktree bio too, there's also a spreadsheet. It's not editable, so don't worry about fucking around with it if you just have it up on your phone or something. But it's a spreadsheet with every team, like assist to turnover. I have it up? Hold on. It has assist to turnover, 3-point percentage, 2-point defense, 3-point defense, best guards, primary scoring options, head coach, what I think of the coaching, whether they're hot or not, point guard. a couple injury notes, although I should fill that out more, and then some weaknesses and stuff like that for later on in the tournament for matchups. So just I didn't necessarily finish the entire sheet, but in case that's helpful to anybody, that the link to that is also in the link tree. So let me know if you have any. Let me know if that's helpful to anybody. Does that really say Indiana? I think Indiana can win that bracket. I think matchup wise, and I think the way they're playing with Geronimo playing better, they can win. Dude, Geronimo playing better is absolutely a monster thing for this team. Do I think it's super likely? No, but I do think they have a very clear route to victory. I think the hardest game, honestly, is St. Mary's. That is such a hard game on short notice, to be traveling across the country to Portland and all that. Lover to Trish, what's up, dude? Do not sleep on Akron, man. Team is firing right now. Yeah, and I think they have some decent matchups against UCLA, although are they going to be big enough? They're used to bullying people around, and you ain't going to bully nobody around with those guys in this matchup. So I think UCLA is an interesting team because I could see UCLA bowing out first round, and I could see them making a really deep run. Maybe all their tournament variants from all the shots they hit last year come to roost this year, and they go out first round. I just think they have arguably top 3 point guard in the country. They have one of the best scorers in the country in Ju Zhang. They're going to go out this early. Really difficult for me. Bryant got the bag to Kiss running through this game. I think Bryant has a lot of advantages in that they're basically playing like a Northern Kentucky. They play a very similar defense to Northern Kentucky, which gave Wright State tons of problems. You saw Wright State had to come back from a ton down. They have Pride and Kiss for scoring. I don't really like Kiss, but I love Pride. So I will go with Bryant, gun to my head, but I like the guards better on Wright State, even though I don't think the talent gap is super wide if Calvin doesn't shoot super well. So I would rather be on Brian in that game. Can you do a game-by-game breakdown? I definitely will, dude. Let's start now. Hold on. We will kick it off with the East bracket right now, I think. So all the questions about Tyler Rose. What's up, my brother? Tyler Rose. So there's a couple more people here. This is something I'm going to get back to. We're going to dive into the brackets. But for the conference tournament contest, we had an issue where I put up American late, and one person didn't put their pick in on time for my snapshot. I have to check. I have to have my assistant go back, check all the times on snapshots and stuff. So I'm not quite done yet, but there's either a tie between 3 people or that person won. So we need to figure that out because there might be a tiebreaker. So it's not like I forgot about that shit. Somebody's getting a prize from that. Brian is going to be such a public play. I think that's the only reason I'm worried. I don't know. You think? Wright State's a pretty known program. So let's do it. So what we'll do format wise, let's just start. We'll go through by bracket. Let's keep all the questions related to this specific bracket, at least for the time being when we're running through. Same thing with comments if we can. But let's just start running through the East and see where we get to. Baylor, Norfolk State. Norfolk State plays good defense, but there's no real threat there. They're not going to be able to score. We still are not going to have LJ Cryer or Tom JTT, however you pronounce his name. Yes, there was a tie for first in conference tourneys. You were one of them, Tyler Rose. So we have to figure that out. Flip board. Oh, good call. Yo, soy Cristo. Thank you for being on the dot. Thank you for being on point. Hold on. Let me get this out of here. All right, so I think Baylor just gets by off, they're just going to be able to score more. They both play good defense. Marquette, UNC. I know a lot of people are going to be on UNC here because of the route to victory inside everything. Marquette's not playing that well. They're going to beat them up on the boards. Kuath trying to match with Baycott and stuff for a full game. The problem is you've seen it with UNC repeatedly this year, and the ball handling just isn't quite there, dude. I do not trust. I think Caleb Love versus Morcell is an absolutely awful matchup. I don't think RJ Davis is going to keep Tyler Kolek from doing what he wants. That's a big part of beating Marquette. You got to put somebody physical and kind of old man Kolek a little bit. So I think Marquette has much better guard play. I think they have better coaching in the matchup, which is crazy to say with Shaka Smart. But I trust Marquette more. I still don't. These couple games by UNC and stuff. UNC had an awesome matchup against Virginia Tech and looked completely lost in that game. I cannot just 180 on UNC and suddenly trust their guard play. As much as I like RJ Davis, I don't think this is a good matchup against Marquette. Indiana got momentum coming in. I agree. St. Mary's is a little bit of an issue, though, on short notice. JGT Ruth, what's up, my boy? Yeah, dude, I feel a little naked without doing the live streams. I have St. Mary's on here just because of the spot. Traveling out to Portland to face this kind of offense like Randy Bennett. Granted, Randy Bennett doesn't have as much time to counter prepare, and Mike Woodson is probably a little more used to doing quick turnarounds with his NBA experience. So I can see Indiana winning that game. Matchup-wise, I'm a little worried. Xavier Johnson just says no, sir, to Tommy Kuhs. Xavier Johnson is kind of a dude. Do they have really a good match for Trace Jackson Davis? No. Does anybody in this quadrant really have that good a matchup besides the time you get to Baylor? And then I'll take Indiana's guard play over Baylor's in a big game. I actually think this is very set up because UCLA is a terrible matchup. I think Indiana's a terrible matchup for UCLA. Terrible matchup because you actually have somebody who's going to be able to guard Tiger Campbell, stuff like that. I guess you have somebody that can decently guard Juzang. Nobody really can anyways, but so much on Juzang jump shooting. And you're going to abuse who's ever at the 4 if you try and have like Jaquez guard fucking Trace Jackson Davis. That's terrible. Indiana has a very clear path here. This is why I had to put this. I didn't want to put Indiana can win this bracket. It doesn't make me feel good inside. But Indiana with Geronimo, if you guys notice, Geronimo over this last set of games, the biggest thing, they're basically Iowa getting really hot from beating Iowa too in the Big Ten tournament. Iowa hit like their last 5-6 threes were just unconscious down the stretch. If they're not unconscious, Indiana's possibly Big Ten champs. So it's like, it's you get to Indiana being in the fucking Elite Eight real quick. Things start to snowball real quick. However, spot-wise and everything, it's safer to go St. Mary's probably, right? So I had St. Mary's going through. I don't think UCLA can beat them. And I think a lot of like the punishment from like Brown and Sojan are going to be able to play defensively in this game, be able to play Lewis well. And I think he's going to be used. Think about that. That's another reason for Marquette over UNC. Who's going to guard James Lewis? Who's going to guard Lewis? Who's going to guard Lewis in the UNC matchup? Brady Manick is going to guard Lewis? Sir, no, he's not. Sir, no, he's not. So I think Baylor gets through pretty easily. I would have guard play here, but I think Indiana would give Baylor's guards real problems. I think they would ball pressure them like crazy. I think they give Akinjo serious problems. It's really too bad Cryer's not here. It's just too bad Cryer's not here because that would be cool. So I feel pretty good about this. It's UCLA or Indiana. I feel actually pretty good about that. Bottom part of the bracket. This is a really tough game for me, Texas versus Virginia Tech. I think Texas has the personnel to beat Virginia Tech because I don't think Virginia Tech is going to necessarily like Aluma much offensively. If that's what I have to deal with him inside, that's fine. He is really good at protecting around the rim. But, dude, Timmy Allen and them, Timmy Allen's playing well. He's a senior. Get him into foul trouble. I think Timmy Allen, who's going to guard Timmy Allen on this team? And then shooting-wise, Texas can beat. Texas can win that. They can shoot their way into it. I think the guards are going to have trouble. Fucking Virginia Tech's guards are going to have trouble guarding Texas. I think there's a few. Leaky guards Lewis. Dude, user fungi. I've seen that everywhere, that Leaky Black is going to guard James. Dude, that's not going to happen. Leaky Black's going to get run over by Lewis. I think he's so much better. So I want to put Virginia Tech there. I know they're playing really well and stuff, but there are still so many limitations to this team. I have a problem with this Texas matchup. I think they're going to have a problem staying with the guards for Texas and everything that they're going to do. Courtney Ramey, one of the best defensive guards I've seen all year. Have him and Couture match up. That's a pretty sick matchup, Carson. Texas and Ohio State are the best bets for the first round. Is Texas a dog? I don't really trust them a ton, but do you like Allen versus Aluma? I kind of like Allen in that matchup. Jared out. That's what I'm saying. Like, those guys are a little – I don't know if they're quite athletic enough to deal with Allen. And, like, the help defense for Texas Tech is enough where, like, is Aluma really going to kill them in this matchup? Does Virginia Tech playing more recently help? Texas hasn't played in a while. I don't know. Maybe, maybe not. Virginia Tech had to win a bunch of games as like a 7 seed in the ACC tournament. This bracket makes no sense, bro. You said UCLA or Indiana, but Indiana losing in the first round. Well, that would be like if Indiana wins, I think they can go all the way to this game would be my point matchup-wise. But I think the hardest matchup is Indiana. I'm just trying to give information. Guy whose name – you're asking me if I have Tourette's? Look at your name, dude. Do you? I mean, I don't mean to – I usually try and just be super nice, but do you with your name? I mean, a little self-conscious about your own situation. That's okay, though. Purdue over Yale. Yale stinks. Can't do it. I get Swain's the better guard. I get they have like a couple decently sized guys, but I'm not the Purdue guy, and I still think, I just can't. I don't know how Yale gets by there. But I think Texas can beat Purdue. I think their guard play will be good enough. I think they'll get enough turnovers. I'll take Texas there. It stinks because I think a little bit of this too, this Texas pick. I think it's a little bit of me being like, I just don't want Purdue to get down there in my bracket. I don't want to put Purdue this far because Purdue versus Virginia Tech is a terrible matchup for me. I think that's really bad. I think they're going to be able to hit a lot of open threes, and I think just like down low, it's going to be such a problem. Although Mutts, I just don't trust Mutts in that situation. So I just can't have I kind of have Texas moving low. Purdue's not playing well enough to do anything of substance. Yeah, I think I probably can block people, but I don't know how, and it's too much work, and I think the kid will probably just go away on his own. How much can you have? What's it called? So there's no way Purdue's playing well enough. There's just no way. I don't know how Purdue can be playing well enough to do anything of substance. They look angry at each other, do they not? There's a little bit of like chemistry stuff going on, which is a similar thing I kind of see with Auburn. It kind of stinks, but Purdue is so bad defensively. And the crazy part is they have the exact same team as last year, where they were like a top 50 defensive team, top 30 defensive team. And now they just have the exact same team as last year. And now they stink. So I think it would be more if you have to look between the cracks. I think you'd probably be like, maybe Purdue hates each other. Kind of see it on the court. I think a lot of the big men are like, what the fuck are our guards doing? Why is Jaden Ivey doing that? Jews be trapping. You love Ivey, dude. He's playing like some really bad basketball. Zach Edey looks like an avatar. Apparently I look like him. They are ranked like 150 in D. Let's see. So I have it on my little chart. They're low. That's for sure. So for the shading, for the numbers on this paper I have, the 2022 NCAA tournament note that's in my link tree, it's red if they're below 150 in a ranking, and it's green if they're above 50. So I tried to go for like a little more elite. You're green. Purdue is 149th in 2-point defense and 196th in 3-point defense. So I agree. Really can't. Ivy is too erratic for me. Their guard play in general is just too erratic for me. I can't do it. It's too much for me. So where I land on that, Purdue, there's no way. I don't think either of them get by Kentucky anyway. So it really doesn't matter too much. But I think Texas beats Purdue. I think Purdue beats Virginia Tech. I think you land here. Murray State over San Fran. If Masalski wasn't injured/injury status up in the air or whatever, I might think about taking San Fran because he could punish Murray State inside consistently. But as it sits, I'd rather be on Murray State's guards. I trust Tevin Brown more than I trust like Shabazz or Bouye, which is kind of rough. And I honestly trust Hill more than I trust Bouye. I think Bouye is just a little crazy. So I'll go Murray State. I think Kentucky ultimately too much for him. Sheboy inside and stuff in that matchup is just a problem. They're going to get bodied on the boards. Keon Brooks can defend KJ Williams well. And I think you're fine there. I think Hill will probably get old manned a little bit by Wheeler. So I'll see Kentucky. Kentucky beats Texas. And then I can honestly, UCLA is the kind of team this year because they're so reliant on jump shooting variance. If you see their numbers, they're like top in the country in 2-point shots taken. They're like they're an inverse to Alabama, where they take tons and tons of mid-range jump shots. But if you think about the players they have between like Juzang, Bernard Campbell, these guys, they're awesome at hitting them. So mid-range jump shots, though, if you ever watched like the last couple brands of the Clippers with Paul George, Kawhi Leonard and stuff that are completely reliant on mid-range jump shots, well, you can beat anybody, you can lose to anybody. So I think UCLA's playing a little better. I actually like that they can play Riley or Miles Johnson. They can play like, different types of big man depending on who they're playing, whether they're going to get put in ball screens and stuff or not. You can play more Riley for ball screen situations, play more Johnson if you need to be tougher on the inside. So I like that versatility. I can see UCLA going really far. I can see them losing early. Ultimately, I have Kentucky or Indiana. I would put winning this bracket. I think Indiana, the way they're playing with how Xavier Johnson's playing, how Geronimo is playing, I think you can basically beat anybody in the country. As crazy as that is to say about Indiana. If Xavier Johnson's going to play really well and be a true point guard, they can beat anybody in the country. That's how I feel. San Fran, my connection lost a lot in and out of service. Casey Merrill, I am on Murray State. I just don't trust the guards as much as I trust Murray's, especially if they're pressured and stuff and throughout the game. I feel like Bouye is just going to make mistakes. Elijah Roth, what's up, brother? I have UCLA over UK Elite Eight. I could see it if you want to go that way in that matchup. I have that matchup, though, for most likely. UCLA winning it all 25-1 is insane value. I agree. They also hunt the mismatches, so they're usually the other team's worst defender. Yep. Yeah, friggin' I like UCLA. UCLA has also got an awesome coach. UCLA has a lot to like, and they're finally healthy. UCLA is finally healthy. There's a lot of cases you can make for UCLA. I think the biggest counterpoint would be how open they are to shooting variants with the way they play basketball. If you're going to take that many mid-range twos, even if you're really good at them, you're exposing yourself in a one-out format. You're really exposing yourself, in my opinion. If UNC does beat Marquette, do you buy any of the hype they could beat Baylor? You're going to be able to get – that's where JTT would be nice to have, I guess. Man, that's a tough guard matchup for me, who I like more. Jeez, a Kinjo or I like RJ Davis more, but I would take Flagler over any of the others. You're going to stretch there, but they'll probably punish it. It's a similar thing where you're going to have like Kendall Brown or Sochan absolutely punish Manic. No, I don't really think so. I think Baylor's going to win a couple games. I can see that. Baylor's just not going to completely – the thing is they still have built a culture here. These are a lot of the same kids from last year. Tournament format, stuff like that, they're still going to be better than they would be regular season. I have to give them a little nod up there. Akron, I love the cover. I can see it going either way. Because Akron isn't going to be able to – what is Akron going to body them up and get a bunch of O boards like they normally do? No, not in my opinion. I don't think like their regular route to victory by being physically tougher, fucking just putting your head down, a lot of the like triple slamming his way to the basket, a lot of these things, I don't think they're going to be viable in this game. So I can see them keeping the pace down, making enough shots. Maybe you get to like the short wing, stuff like that. Some of the stuff Arizona was doing with some screens to run like the little athletic wing. So get Freeman on little things off of screens on the sideline. I can see some stuff like that working. Maybe Freeman has to play absolutely out of his fucking mind. That St. Mary's UCLA matchup will be a huge big brother, little brother story, in my opinion. I don't think St. Mary's can beat UCLA. I just don't, no matter how UCLA is playing. There's going to be way too much there from the guard play for me. Have you watched Vermont? How good are they? Saw they own the second best defensive rebounding percentage of all time. We'll get to that. Maybe we should do that one next. That might be next. Let's do that bracket next. But this is kind of where I ended up right here. How does Riley match up with Jackson Davis? Not great, in my opinion. Trace Jackson Davis has a nice – Ike just proved to me he's not ready to take the next step. Ike, I don't think – was Ike thinking about going to the NBA? I don't think so, but I was actually impressed by him in that game. Last time I was on, I think you heard say Jason Tatum. Jason Tatum stinks. Jason Tatum is soft. I agree. He is a softie. Campbell, best hair in the tourney. Another nod. Most non-power conference teams are going to struggle rebounding, which I think is a huge advantage. Yeah, I think I don't have a lot of small conference teams going far this tournament. I wish I did. I thought I was gonna, but just matchup wise, they screwed a lot of like that Illinois Tennessee Chattanooga matchup. You screwed Tennessee Chattanooga. Nothing they do well is going to hurt Illinois. You screwed freaking UAB with the Houston matchup. They just screwed a lot of the small teams. IU or St. Mary's, I think that traditionally this is a St. Mary's wins this game a lot out of a lot of times just because prepping for Randy Bennett on short time and stuff is going to be bad. Indiana can sometimes be a little, you saw maybe some pretty open threes by Iowa at the end of that game. There's some things that St. Mary's is really going to give them trouble with. But I don't think there's a great guard for Trace Jackson Davis. I think he's the best player on the court. I think Xavier Johnson, I have a lot of respect for Tommy Kuhse, but if Xavier Johnson's going to play like this, I think he's probably the best guard on the court. They might have the two best players on the court. They can win that game and make a run. That's why it says Indiana can win this bracket with a star next to it. Because I truly believe that. I'm not talking out my fucking ass. Vermont won't beat Woo Piggy. Don't buy the hype. No tail winner. I have Arkansas going to the Elite Eight, I guess, I think. So I tend to agree with you, but I think they have a very viable route to victory in that game. And I can see Vermont then knocking off UConn, but let's get to that in a second. Okay. Yeah, they match up small conference team with power conference teams that do the same thing. Yes, million subs investments. It's so douchebag. I don't know why they did that. Indiana shooting struggles. Hey, that's why I said Marty Lane. You're one of the other people that tied along with Tyler O's, by the way. And then Matt with some numbers next to it. Are you in here? Because you're the other one for the conference tournament thing, by the way. So good job, you guys. 15 out of 32. Pretty damn good. But, yeah, I agree. They screwed all the small conference teams. I don't know why they did that. But I think Indiana, with Geronimo playing well, JWD GOAT, if they hit at least 6 threes a game, Geronimo is starting to play well. Geronimo playing well is huge. Can't understate it. That's an extra 12, 13, 14 points a game. That's huge. I see a lot of brackets that have UAB beating Houston. Are they in a good spot? I don't think so. I love Geronimo. He played like shit this season, though, after being on everybody's like watch list for different things. And now I think if he starts to step it up, he is a talented shooter, man. And he's the kind of extra piece where he slides in. Miller Kopp got to step it up. Maybe Miller Kopp's not that good. He might be more of a locker room guy. Indiana versus Kentucky would be cool to see. Used to play every year. Dano seasoning, exactly. They did a lot of this kind of shit. Like if you notice, they did the like a lot of people versus their former team type games, like with freaking Foster Lawyer Bowl, like all these random things. I don't think that all worked out coincidentally. I don't trust Illinois. I want to take Chattanooga in that game so bad, but I just see Silvio De Sousa getting in foul trouble so quickly. And then the other bigs, like Coleman Hawkins, is actually decent. St. Mary's disciplined defense to make it hard, 6+ threes, but St. Mary's, I think, is going to get punished in other spots. I think Xavier Johnson's sticking to Kuhse in like ball screen situations. He can do that. They're good at defending that stuff. So let's see. Hold on. Let's flip. Let's move on to the West. We were just talking about Arkansas. Let's move there. AZ could play both Illinois and 10 again. Oh, we get to this in a sec. We get to that one. I like that bracket. We'll get to that one. Geronimo reminds me of OG Anunoby. He's got a much nicer shot than him. I think Geronimo's got a really, really nice shot. I just don't think – I think a lot of times it doesn't go in. But in my brain, when I watch him shoot it, I'm like, that's a good shot, dude. I like the way it comes off your fingertips. I think Geronimo is going to end up being good. He's a huge X factor in this tournament. I think if you have an X factors list in this tournament, Geronimo is a monster one, an absolute monster one. All right. Let's move on here. All right. Shit. All right. Can we all see that? All right, I went a little hometown feel on this one with Duke. His form is great. I agree, JWD GOAT. I'm not sure about first half unders. Maybe they want excitement. They'll just call a million fouls. They seem to be fucking with all kinds of things. We got the Foster Lawyer Bowl. We have every type of stupid bowl type thing. All right. Let's dance. The West. Gonzaga over Georgia State. That seems like a lot of points. You get your pancake magnets yet? Bro, did I tell everybody? No, they didn't come in the mail yet, but it's only one. The lady, I ordered 6 of them because it's $30 shipping, and then she just sends me back, thank you so much for your order. It's one magnet. I paid $30 shipping for a $10 magnet. Gonzaga, Georgia State. I think Georgia State's going to give them problems. I can see it. Just depends how many shots Georgia State hits. I wish I liked their guards a little better because they're going to be able to defend Gonzaga inside. I honestly, dude, matchup-wise, if you just go matchup, and if there wasn't Julian Strawther on this team, I would take Georgia State outright, dude. They can match up so well inside. I really think there's ways that Georgia State can win this game. There's worlds where Georgia State wins this game. I know I sound whatever. I don't know. The length of physicality in this end of the bracket is going to give Gonzaga problems, I think. I really do. But I think Memphis probably has a better chance of beating them in Boise State. But I still think, man, Boise State matches up fine. This is going to be a really good game, this Boise State-Memphis game, because you have Hijab on DeAndre Williams, and then you have Akot on Nolly. That's going to be a sick matchup. That's going to be a really good game. Boise State-Memphis. It might not look awesome all the time and be the sexiest thing, but I think it's going to be an awesome game. I'm so excited for that game. I saw a lot of people take Georgia State spread early. I feel like that's come down a decent amount. I just don't see Gonzaga. Dude, I've watched them however many times now. They're not good to me. They're just not good. And if you have long people, length and stuff like that, they're just beating the shit out of teams that don't belong in the same stratosphere as them talent-wise. As soon as we get talent in there, I think Boise State's toughness and Hijab would have a good game in that game. You blanket the Nemhards. I don't know. The thing that would worry me is too much Tyler Harris late offense, just completely blowing a game. But Nolly can get to his spots, hit his shots. I think Nolly is a very good end-of-game scorer because he can just take the ball himself, get to the middle of the lane, pull up, and make his little 12-foot jump shot. So I like that a lot. No, I see it. If people want to take Boise, that's why I put on this note. Can you guys read this note? Would have Boise State over Zags as well. I can see Boise State just using experience and stuff. Maybe Memphis isn't as good as everybody thinks he is. Tyler Harris does try to do too much late. Yes, he does. I don't know why he does it, but it's very inefficient. I don't like it. So that worries me, but I think maybe that'll come more of a problem against Arkansas or something. I just don't believe in Strawther's a jump shooter that doesn't create his own shots. Drew Timme, every time he tries to be that guy, fails, in my opinion. I just don't know why I'm supposed to like Gonzaga still. I just still don't understand. So, I'm not sure. The coaching is an issue. I almost think Boise State maybe, and then you run more ball screen stuff and get Shaver some easy points. So maybe Boise State would have just as good a chance of beating Gonzaga. But I just don't like Gonzaga. I don't think they're good. If Gonzaga makes it by Memphis, what do you think of the matchup with Arkansas or UConn? I think that Jalen Williams is a top 3 big man in the country defensively. And I don't think you're going to get what you want. I don't think Timme would do anything on him. And then, the check guy is maybe a little bit of an issue. But I think Arkansas would beat them. I think Jalen Williams, this is a big to me, ND is more of a surprise than Memphis. Ron Harper Jr. is legitimate. It's Ron Harper Jr. versus a spread offense and all of those players. I just can't take those Rutgers scoring droughts. You saw it yesterday with Texas A&M CC. They have a 5-point lead going into the final 6 minutes in the tournament game and then just go basically scoreless and don't do anything the rest of the game. Those kind of droughts are fucking deadly in March. I've seen so many Rutgers scoring droughts this year that I'm just over it. I'm not taking that against a Notre Dame team that I think is good. It doesn't matter that I don't think Wesley is going to do next to nothing in this game. It doesn't matter to me. It doesn't matter that Wesley's not going to do anything in this game. It really doesn't. So I have to take Notre Dame. Every year I have an anti-Zags bracket. All right, so big on New Mexico State to win. Let's get down to this. Cliff Lopez, I see you like this one. Gianni Rizzo, a couple people on this New Mexico State. I hate. You won't find a bigger UConn hater. Unfortunately, I have. Hold on one sec. Let me close the thing. All right, my bad. Rutgers has grit. They do have grit. Unfortunately, grit doesn't put the ball in the basket. I think Notre Dame's going to score too many points. I'm afraid of when they spread Rutgers out. You just let McConnell do whatever, let Mulcahy do whatever, and then just go to the other people. Just spread it out and just go to other people. Whoever they're not covering, you go to those guards. They're basically all the same on your team. They can all do the same things. Goodwin, man, or freaking Dane and Cormac Ryan and them are probably going to be the ones like not covered. Maybe they put them on Cormac and then it's Hub, but there's going to be a couple people that aren't covered well. And I think those people, Rutgers gives up a lot of like fucking easy shots through the other people. I have a problem with that. I think Notre Dame just has more firepower. I trust them to get the buckets they need. Wesley got a good matchup. No. Should be Geo Baker on him, I guess. No, Carson. They're gonna put McConnell on him. Because otherwise it's just gonna be if they don't put McConnell on Wesley, then it's fucking over. It just ends. The game's over already. Notre Dame, I think, is like a 1-point favorite. I think it flipped. So the game just ends. So I think they at least give themselves a chance by putting McConnell on Wesley, and at least there could be a game. Yeah, McConnell's like arguably the top 3 on-ball defender in the country as a white guy. Pretty impressive. So UConn, New Mexico State. In theory, I understand that New Mexico State can board with UConn, and that's great. That's the first thing you need to do to beat UConn is make sure they don't just beat the shit out of you on the boards, beat you up inside. New Mexico State has a pretty good defense, 33rd in the country in 2-point defense. I like that if I'm on the New Mexico State side. Problems I have with that is that watching New Mexico State, the WAC tournament or whatever we just watched, they kind of let guards do what they want on the other team. Any guard with any semblance of quickness to get by the Serge Rice and the Allen guy, because they kind of forfeit quickness for size and just kind of bully everybody in the WAC. That's kind of what Jance does at New Mexico State, right? So I have a little bit of a problem when you don't, RJ Cole might not be a super amazing talent, whatever. He's going to get to spots he wants in this game, unfortunately. This is an RJ Cole game. This is literally an RJ Cole game. And then on the other side, Teddy Allen's going to be bodied up by Tyrese Martin or Andre Jackson. So look at those 2 first options, and let's say the board's just like semi-cancel, and then we're left with that. Who do you want? Teddy Allen being guarded by people that are awesome matchups for him, or RJ Cole being guarded by guys that are too slow to stay in front of him? Which one of the 2 would you take? I'm going to go with UConn. I have to. I hate them, and I'm going to go with them. J-Will would have Timmy in a torture chamber. I absolutely agree. Jalen Williams would eat fucking Timmy alive. I don't even think the gods are going to let that happen. They'll knock out Gonzaga first so he doesn't need to get embarrassed. I absolutely agree, Elijah Roth. Absolutely agree. How do you feel if Vermont upset? I don't see it happening, but I've been hearing about it so much. So, next matchup on the board, I think Vermont would beat UConn. So I think if Vermont can get by Arkansas, you can get to the game with the uber athletic guys and then just get the shit beat out of you. But Arkansas is kind of a shitty matchup for me. As much as they're a good matchup in some respects, I think they're a bad matchup in other respects. And then I just have to lead towards a team that has like a decent amount of talent and some people I like in Devo Davis and Jalen Williams. But looking at Vermont, I mean, they're number 6 in the country in assist to turnover ratio. Number 43rd in 3-point percentage. Were higher before, but kind of had a little variance, kind of like just bring them back down to earth because they were off the planet earlier in the season. They're 43rd there, 32nd in 2-point defense, and then they give up a bunch of threes. So under Becker, they give up a lot of threes, but Arkansas is so streaky. They don't really have a ton of really good 3-point shooters if you think about it. So I don't know if that's going to kill them. And then the ball handling edge goes to Vermont, slow the game down, less possessions, hit your threes. The problem for me, where I keep running into an issue with this game, Vermont game is in Buffalo, helps them too. I agree, Carson. So many advantages from Vermont. I think Vermont can win this game. And then I think they can definitely beat UConn. because if they do enough with the guard play to beat Arkansas, they'll do enough with UConn. But the problem is that fucking Davis guy is going to have to go up against Jalen Williams. He's not going to do anything. And they go to that Davis guy so much, he's not going to do anything. The one thing I like, Vermont's a bunch of winners, dude. Those kids in a close game, I like them. I like them a lot. I just am kind of like feeling like Vermont also has the second highest defensive rebounding percentage of all time. Yeah. I mean, against the one thing we also have to think about, though, J.S. Peters, is that Vermont, the America East was very down this year. I mean, they beat like UMBC by like 40-something points in the final game of this. It's like, what are we doing here? The rest of that conference was a turd. I mean, we still have to remember these guards. I mean, it's Shungu, it's Missoula, and it's like Finn Sullivan, the San Diego transfer, right? I think so. And then Davis, who's going to be completely shut down in this matchup. Like, it just gets hard for me. Like, we're really betting on Arkansas to make tons and tons of mistakes. And while we still have that thing in the back of our head that's like, I know who Likes was before he got there. I know Idris Toney is a little bit of a fuck boy. I know that fucking, there's things about that team I know, but it's just hard for me. It's hard for me. That's a shitty draw because you want to have Davis established. Ryan Davis established for semi-regular points would be really, really helpful. I just am every time I watch Jalen Williams play post defense, I'm like, damn, you're good, dude. Damn, you're good. I really am impressed by you. Every time I watch Jalen Williams play basketball in general, I'm like, damn, I'm impressed by you. So problem for me there. I just have a problem. I need Arkansas to fuck up an incredible amount, and I think they're capable of doing it. But, yeah, so if Vermont gets through, though, I will take Vermont over UConn 100% because I think Shungu is a really good on-ball defender. If you're on the Vermont side, that's another thing that's in your pocket, right? So everybody talking about it's Note season, all these things. Shungu is a damn good defender. He might be a little bit athletically deficient, whatever, but he is a damn good defender. I'll tell you this much. He'll swallow RJ Cole whole if they make it through the next round, and they'll beat UConn. I'd be very confident in that matchup. I'd be very confident in Vermont over UConn because UConn plays the dumbest basketball alive, and Vermont plays amazingly smart basketball. Arkansas doesn't play particularly smart basketball either, but I like Note is the kind of guy where you can be a really good defender, and if he's on, it just doesn't matter. It really just doesn't matter. If Likes plays good, he can have a monster game. I'm a big fan of his, but he's streaky. Yeah, I'm not a big fan of his, but I guess I kind of get it. Very early on in his career, I was like, all right, I'll forfeit whatever defensive things for this. But then as he's become less and less efficient, Jay Jealous, I'm just like, I can't forfeit on defense when I'm forfeiting for like the few steals he gets and the crazy like runs he goes on offense where he's like takes like 4 shots in a row. He's like, I'm really feeling it right now. It's like, are you? Because maybe one of them should go in then. So just stop with the other things you have on offense. Jalen Williams hasn't touched the ball in 6 possessions, and we have Chris Likes taking back-to-back contested jumpers in transition. Fuck you, Chris Likes. Sorry, that was a lot. I apologize. Chris Likes, you're fine. Rebound percentage shows how poorly the conference shot. Yeah, that's true too. Nice point. User, lots of numbers. I think that conference was so bad. America East was so bad. I watched a couple Vermont non-con games, and they are going to have a problem with the athleticism, everything like that. So yes, who do I have winning it all? We will get there soon, sir. Spoiler, they're orange. I think it's probably wrong because I saw everybody knows the stat that's like you have to be top 25 offensive efficiency, top 40 in defensive efficiency or whatever, or reversed, whatever it is, or you haven't won since like the early 90s or mid 90s. So yeah, that's why I wore this. You see what I think? But that my team doesn't fall under that. So a lot of people are just going to be like, that's a stupid pick, whatever. I'll see. We'll see what happens. But I do know I'm walking into that. I'm also not finalized. I don't need to finalize till tomorrow. There's a couple things. Like you'll see the Kansas bracket. I got some problems. I'm a Duke fan, credit Joe too, and I can't get it. I can't get there. It is not Illinois. I'll give you a spoiler. Trent Frazier, I think. Did anybody watch the end of that Indiana game in the Big Ten tournament? Did you see Trent Frazier as a senior just throwing the ball out of bounds? Andre Curbelo is the X factor for them. If Andre Curbelo somehow just twists his head on right and plays well, sure, they can make a run. Zach Edey. Charlie and the Chocolate Factory. So I end up eventually, I would take Arkansas over UConn. I'd take Vermont over UConn. I'll take UConn just because I really like this matchup for RJ Cole. It's just like a really difficult matchup to lose for UConn. And then Arkansas gets through. I would take Arkansas over Memphis. I think they'd have the athleticism. I think Jalen Williams figures out what he could do on the inside. And then there's enough guard play and stuff, and just they'll be able to match him in transition. They'll be able to control pace of play. They can really decide what they want to do in that game. I think that's where like Tyler Harris's whatever bugaboos will come to a head, in my opinion. Curbelo tries to do too much, way too much. Well, but that's his style. He's good enough to do it. There's just something wrong. I don't know what it is, whether it's confidence, whatever. Because I just saw him last season make all those plays. He was amazing last season. Curbelo was like, knocked my fucking socks off. And now I'm like, what's going on? I wonder if that injury is going to be huge. Creasa? Yeah, I actually like them better without Creasa. That's an addition by subtraction, like the Creighton Nembhard. It's addition by subtraction, in my opinion. Unless he comes back and he's still hobbled and just stands in the corner, shoots threes, and makes a high percentage, gets on one of his hot games, I can see him helping then. Otherwise, I like the dual point guard look out of Mathurin and Terry. I think it's much better than the kind of shit he was creating. Putting the onus on those two to have to do it is much better. Much, much better, in my opinion. Houston, I don't think is very good. I just think that UAB matchup sucks because how is UAB going to exploit them on the board? So it's like if you think Jelly Walker has 40 points, then I think you should take UAB. I don't know if you heard Devontae Jones is out for Michigan tomorrow. Who do you like in that game? I had Colorado State and already. I guess I like them more. Okay, wait. Let's continue to get to this. Sorry, my bad. Did you guys see 25 minutes of Dalen at PG against UCLA? Now that's a contender. I absolutely agree. I think that's so much better. Dalen Terry can create 40 times. Creasa doesn't have court vision. That's what people fail to understand. He doesn't have the experience. It's like not that he's physically limited or something. He doesn't know what the fuck he's doing. That would be the problem, in my opinion. I just don't see him ever like when he's just dribbling into the lane to just do it. He's not trying to do anything. That's me personally. That's just how I feel. Okay. Why I don't like the Zags in the round of 32. I don't think they're good, Jay Cutler smokes. I don't think they're good, dude. I just don't. There's no game I can point. They lost to Alabama early in the season. Do people not understand that? We literally are just giving them free passes on all of their deficiencies. They don't have this. Nembhard's not a proven point guard. Nembhard's been here for a while. He's never done anything. He's literally never done anything. The guy who did everything was the dash last name guy who came from Washington when they made the run to the Final Four, Williams Goss or whatever. He was the guy who did everything. This guy's done nothing. You never trust a Nembhard. It's as simple as that. Never trust a Nembhard. Where are you going to watch the games, boss? Credit Joe. I'm not sure. On Friday, I'll be up on the Strip. I got to go meet my buddy at like 8 a.m. Tomorrow, I got to take my little brother to the airport really early in the morning, and then I'm not sure. I can't do Gonzaga. I don't think they're good at basketball. So that just limits me from whatever. I think Timmy, like they go to Timmy in crunch time. Dude, Timmy is still not that guy. He's never been that guy. He never will be that guy. I'm supposed to bank on Chet Holmgren threes. That's what I'm supposed to be. Kick out Chet Holmgren threes. I really like Strawther. That's it. There's nothing. Scary thing with Memphis is, never know who'll show up. I hope Penny has them ready to play. Yeah, Penny's the worst coach. If you look under my, on my thing under coaching, it says I put head coach Penny Poops, and then under coaching, I just wrote last. I didn't write good, elite, poor, anything. I just wrote last because I'd take any coach over him in America. I like LSU's coaching situation with no coach, Duke's coaching situation with an asleep coach. I'll take either of those coaching situations over Penny Hardaway. He's terrible. But I heard some theory, and people were talking about it on a podcast, and I actually tend to agree with it. I think Larry Brown's got his hands in the cookie jar now. I think Larry Brown might be stirring up a lot of things because you see a lot of the offense and stuff. It's also DeAndre Williams being back. He's the most important player on that team. So it'll be interesting to see how Kajab guards him in the first round. I don't think Anton Watson can guard him off the bounce, so I don't really care in the second one. Texas Tech winning it all. Yeah. Charlie Bertolo, which guard is going to get you there? We talked about it before, but Davian Warren, Adonis Arms, which ones are going to hit you? What does Capwise podcast mean, Cameron King? I'm not sure what that means. I need to shave my head if LSU wins the tourney. Am I safe? Yes, I have them losing in the first round. We'll see. I have a pretty big Credit Joe. Hit me up when you get here. All right, let's finish out this last half of this bracket really quick. I think Notre Dame beats Alabama. I think the guard play is too good. I don't think is Alabama going to punish Notre Dame inside? No. I think that's a great matchup for Notre Dame. Notre Dame slinks through. Texas Tech, Montana State. I think Texas Tech can get dicey in the first round, dude. The problem I have with it is that you have like a super dull ball dominant Xavier Bishop, and he's fucking 5'8". All right, so how are you going to put him on the floor? And then on the other end of the floor, don't you just attack him ruthlessly? Just put your head down and just run Xavier Bishop over. So that's a little bit of a problem, even though like up front, maybe Bello can have some success keeping whatever, although he might get into foul trouble really quick. I just kind of feel like, I don't know, I like Montana State. They're smart guys, and I think Battle will have the opportunity to hit a lot of open threes. Credit Joe. Yeah, man, you got to it's difficult. The day before the tournament, I mean, I'm all tournament. I've been all tournament for the last 2 days. I've been on edge. I've been on edge making this bracket. I've had a really hard time with a couple of them. But really not – I feel pretty good about this part at least. I think Notre Dame beats Texas Tech. I think they'll have the shooting with like rotations and stuff with the ball, with the way Texas Tech allows a lot of open shots. Unfortunately, as long as you don't turn the ball over, you get tons of open shots. Notre Dame's not the team that you want to do that against. I just don't trust – I can't do Texas Tech guard guys. I can't do Texas Tech guards. I've watched Adonis Arms for like 5 years. I don't think he's suddenly going to develop the jump shot he needs. This Davian Warren guy isn't suddenly going to become as talented. I can't do Kevin O'Banner shots to end the game or Bryson Williams in the post. That's not going to be enough for me. It's just in the postseason, I know that's not going to be enough. So Texas Tech, let's say you get by Notre Dame, maybe, I guess. I think Notre Dame would win that matchup. I like Notre Dame to go on a little run here. Because I don't think Rutgers would win, though. So if Rutgers wins, I don't even know if Rutgers beats Alabama, to be honest. Those scoring droughts, man. Rutgers, that really puts me off because I know that's going to bite them. I know that's exactly what's going to bite them. They're not going to be able to score with whoever they lose to. If Duke clicks, it's going to be scary. I know, but I've been kind of waiting for Duke to click forever. So it's killing me. I don't think at this point I can't really be like, hey, now I think it's going to click. Would you take Rutgers over Tech? No. I don't think they would get there. I think they would lose to Alabama. But would I take Rutgers over Tech? No, I probably wouldn't. No, I probably wouldn't because I think it would be a close game. But it basically Ron Harper is going to have somebody. They're going to end up figuring out Mark Adams is a good enough coach, and I don't know if I trust Rutgers to hit enough open shots outside of Ron Harper. A lot of what they do is like it's not really everybody hitting open shots. There's a lot of games you see Rutgers just breaking open shots. You got to be able to hit shots against Texas Tech. It's imperative to hit shots against Texas Tech. Just have better guard play, hit shots, you can beat them. If Gonzaga and Arkansas matchup, who wins? I'll take Arkansas in that game. I think just Jalen Williams would make Timmy's life a living hell. I think Timmy would retire from basketball after playing Jalen Williams. And he'd be like, yeah, you're right. I'm not going to do this. Duke can't get stops when it counts. It just depends on the offense. It's when they play motion-heavy offenses. When it's like a lot of like off-ball motion and stuff, Duke can't keep their head out their ass. That's what it is. That's their problem. It's their problem the entire season. It's the same thing, and we just won't coach. I think Coach K is he's been asleep at the wheel for like 3-4 years now. So, that's a problem for me. Tyrese Martin has been playing great. He's an X factor. UConn's a different animal now. Yeah, maybe. I do think he's playing better, and I think he's going to cover Teddy Allen very well in the first half. Davidson over Duke. All right, so here's my issue with Davidson, and I didn't get the post, a real post about why I took Richmond over Davidson in the A10 final. But we talked about it, how once Foster Lawyer went out, all his like Steph Curry bullshit where he's like, I'm Steph Curry, I'm going to jack 30-foot like fadeaway threes. Like I don't know who you're playing for, what you're trying to do. But that is very inefficient compared to the other offense with like Huffman driving and kicking, what Lee does, what you get through the big guys inside or outside. They're very versatile. Like you have so much offense on this team. And for Foster Lawyer to disrespectfully be chucking up stupid threes like that pisses me off. And I think that's what keeps them from whatever ceiling. I think Michigan State defensively kind of sucks responsibility-wise. Are you going to be able to run around with Davidson for a full game? I got a little bit of problems with that. I think Davidson's going to have a lot of open shots. Maybe Foster Loyer steps up in the facing his former team, whatever. But that Foster Loyer stupid shot shit, I think, is what screws you against Duke, because there's going to be a lot of defensive possessions where it's like, just continue to run your offense. Continue to run your offense. You'll get the shot eventually. But Foster's going to play some stupid shit and just chuck him up because he gets impatient and it's like whatever. And there's going to be just enough of those possessions where even if it's a close game, that's going to make a difference with what Duke's going to be able to get with like driving keels and all the guards and stuff. So I get people are saying that Foster Loyer for me is actually like he's become like a non, just because I know what Davidson can do without him. So it's like you're forfeiting so much good offense with like the Lee kid and stuff for that crap you're throwing out there. So that's my problem. What's up, Aaron Holtz? How are you, my brother? Houston seemed very disappointed with the 5 seed. Yeah, I guess they had a right to be, huh? The seeding was a little – I don't think they took very much time with the seeding. I think they didn't really try, I don't think. I love Vermont. Aaron Holtz, I can see Vermont getting to here. They'll beat UConn. I'm pretty confident Vermont over UConn with Shungu, Blanket, and Cole. If you can get by Arkansas. Vermont over Arkansas, with Davis going up against arguably like a top 3 post defender, I have problems. I have really problems there. We're going to have to hit a very high percentage of threes, and we're going to need Arkansas to just turn the ball over at a crazy rate, both of which can very much happen, but I can't just I don't know, man. I like Jalen Williams. I like Devo Davis. You scared of Foster playing even worse? And I think Vermont's inevitably overrated because they played nobody. All right, let's move on to second. What about Tech versus Duke? Duke can make that open shot. I'll take Duke over Texas Tech. I'll take Duke. I want Duke winning this bracket. This bracket, I think, is set up for Duke to win because Duke would beat Gonzaga. Duke would beat Memphis. Duke would beat Boise State. Duke would beat Arkansas. Duke would beat UConn. They set it up for Duke to win this matchup. That's what they did. So I'll go with Duke. I got Duke, arguably my most confident final. I think Duke advances out of this one. I'm pretty confident in that. All right, let's move on. Hey, Tyler B, my guy. What up, Moneyline man? How are you? Hold on 1 second. Let me flip. Yo, a lot of the Tyler B, by the way, bro, a lot of the notes are in that Google sheet. I put a lot of stuff about like if they have problems with pick and roll defense, if they have problems with like post defense, whatever. I put that like in the kryptonite column to the right. So in my link tree in my bio, there's just a note sheet that just for people to look at. I mean, I made it for myself anyways, but what up, lover to Trish? How are you? Are you posting the whole bracket somewhere? Joe Liss, I guess I'll do some kind of post later, but I have I'm going to have 2 versions. I submit multiple brackets, but I guess my main one or whatever for this contest anyways for our group, there's a link in my link tree for a bracket contest for all of this, and mine's already filled out. So you should be able to click in and see the opponents and stuff. So you'll see that. Love the jersey. I appreciate it. Junior Seau says, what up? Oh, wait, that was untasteful. My bad. That was distasteful. Hi, sweetheart. We aren't right. Let's go. I have Iowa State going forward to the Brockington show. I think Gabe Kalsher, all his 3-point regression from his entire career is going to come at once because he's like Geronimo. I love his shot. All right. This is my least favorite bracket. I should do the other one first. Hold on. Let's do South. This is my least favorite one. I almost need help in this one. Let's go with this way first. All right. I like this bracket. I feel like I have a decent grip on this potential outcomes that can come out of this bracket. Foster Nemhart. I like that. There will be a kid named that one day. Gabe Kalsher defense is locked down. Their whole defense is locked down. I like that. All right. Yeah, that last one is giving me a lot of issues, but I think this one's relatively clean. So I'm going to go – I can do this one really quick. Let's do the South. Somebody asked for the South. Let's do the South. Sleeping on Chattanooga. I might be. I just don't think they're going to punish. Like, what are they going to do defensively that's going to punish or offensively that's going to punish Illinois? I just have problems there. But I do kind of think Illinois has really negative guard play right now. How do you think UAB is going to beat Houston? Because they get a lot of O boards, and they're not going to do that in this matchup. They're going to have good defense on Jelly Walk. It's really hard to beat Kelvin Sampson with a team that doesn't have more talent than him. He's really good at beating teams that are lesser than. Like you saw it in the American this year. Like Kelvin Sampson's, they're so well coached that you have to have a decent amount of talent or be just as well coached or something better. And if we know one thing, Chattanooga is not well coached. So their second round can't get there. UAB, I guess, is relatively well coached. Like you trust Andy Kennedy to come up with a game plan to win that game. It's really tough for me. So let me run through this really quick. Oh, shit. I don't know why that got scruffed. Whatever. Arizona TC. All right. So Seton Hall TCU. After watching Seton Hall in the Big Ten in the Big East tournament, that was so damn bad. That was so bad. Roden has completely checked out. Has no idea what he's doing. I get Kadari Richmond's going to be healthy for this, but frankly, just doesn't matter. Put Kadari Richmond on Mike Miles. He stinks anyways. Just get the ball out of his hands. Have some of the guys outside make shots. I think TCU is going to absolutely fucking brick their faces in on the offensive boards. I think they're going to get a million O boards in this matchup. And I don't know, for TCU, it's a matchup either way. Because if you're on Seton Hall, I get it, because Seton Hall's interior defense and stuff. TCU has to get a lot around the rim. They really do, but I don't know, man. I just trust, for some reason, I have a Miller, O'Bannon, those guys. I just think they're going to step up in big spots, and I think they're even going to give Arizona trouble with that. If Emmanuel Miller steps out and hits some threes, he completely changes a lot of dynamics. In games he does that, him and O'Bannon, when they step out and hit threes, it really opens a lot up. Yeah, I just can't do – if Jared Roden's going to play like this, I don't think Seton Hall has enough scoring to beat basically anybody. I don't think they can beat anybody that's a real team with that level of scoring. So I'll take the only game they won, they struggled to get by Butler or something. That's it in that tournament. I mean, Seton Hall's in a bad way right now. I can't take them to beat anybody. I think TCU might give Arizona problems because I think Miles and Baugh can actually defend Mathurin and Terry kind of off the bounce and make some of that. That could be a really low scoring, weird game. I can see TCU winning that game. It's within the possibilities in my head because I think matching up inside, they have power five side. They are power five, but whatever, even higher, better teams used to have their inside players, however you want to say that. But they're tough guys. Miller has always played bigger guys. O'Bannon was at USC, was out west where they had a lot of really good big guys. He's played a lot of really good big guys. I think TCU, with the way they were playing at the end of the season, they can't beat anybody, but I kind of think they can. I don't know why. So I could see TCU because I think either team beats Houston. I don't think Houston's very good, but I hate this matchup. I think UAB, unless Jelly Walker is going to score 40, which he can very well do, I just think that they need to be able to beat you on the O boards. And I don't think Houston's going to be – Houston's an unbelievable rebounding team. They have Fabian White. For all their faults, I don't think getting murdered on the O boards is one of the outcomes that's going to happen. Bro in the back is Big Chillin'. That's my little brother. Jordan Smith. It's my little brother. We just went and shot some Glocks, an M something, and a 50 cal. Cam Winter just hit the portal, Drexel guard. Yeah, well, he hasn't improved at all. So I wish it was exciting, but unless it's to somebody who really develops players in 2 months worth of time, not that excited. OSU lost to Maryland. Enough said. Villanova goes to the championship game. They're the best free throw shooting team that wins games. Yeah, so I got a couple outcomes I could see happening. But this part of the bracket I feel good about. It's either Arizona or TCU comes out of this top half. I'm very comfortable with that. That I can but can UAB keep Houston's O boards limited? I think they'll do a decent enough job, but I think Houston ends up winning the O boards battle, which wins this game. It's a terrible matchup for UAB. Put them against somebody else. Put them against a Wisconsin or something, and we can have a different game. But this is a terrible matchup. That's why I don't get. They just fucked all the little seeds. I don't know why they did that. Although they just gave them against their big brothers, like somebody said before. That's very on point. I don't get it. Guess who has Michigan winning tomorrow because Javonte Jones is out? Jordan Smith. I was kind of thinking the exact same thing. Colorado State, Michigan. I just ultimately, I get Dickinson's going to do well, and I get – so, the biggest problem for this Colorado State team for me personally is not the inside advantage, stuff like that. More so, it's the role definition. Like you saw in the final game that Colorado State played against San Diego State. We took them against, the defense and everything. Isaiah Stevens finished that game 9 for 12 with 21 points. How the fuck can you finish a game 9 for 12 as the best guard on the team? How did you not take more shots? You're on. So yeah. I just think Colorado State has much better guards, unfortunately. I get Dickinson's going to get his. I think they have much better guards. Tyler Rose, do conference tourney comp winners get anything? Yes, but I can't give out the prize to all three of you unless you guys want to decide you're going to split it. So there's three of you. We have to talk about it. I'll talk about it again, but I need that Matt kid. I got to DM him. There's a Matt 512625, something like that. I need to put my charger on. But the Matt kid I need to figure out because I did post American late. So I basically need people to vote because I posted it late. He didn't have his in on time, but I have to check timestamps and I'll get back to you guys. No, there's a prize though. It can't just be bragging rights. There is a lot of bragging rights, but it can't just be that. That's a little ridiculous, I think. So this is another one I think where I might have been doing a little hoping and praying on Ohio State. I think Tennessee over Longwood's kind of self-explanatory. Longwood gives up way too many threes. I get they're tough and stuff like that, but these two guards, Kennedy, Chandler, and Ziegler, are they're real fucking deal. Can I have a prize for being your biggest fan? Lover to Trish. Love you, bro. That's a good prize, right? So Tennessee advancing out of that because of role issues, or if nothing else. Roll issues. Colorado State roll issues are a serious problem, and I'm now rethinking my national title thing because I think I did a little. Dude, stop. I think I was hoping and praying a little bit with Ohio State over Villanova. I get that. Maybe Loyola Chicago can knock out Villanova. I just think with Ohio State, I'm just having problems thinking that they're going to be able to defend Branham and Liddell. I know they're the only two left. I think Zed Key and Kyle Young. Kyle Young being out is huge. That's what really caps how far you can go. You just see they're a completely different team without Kyle Young and his outside shooting and just his presence on the court. How do you feel about bounce back after losing first game of your conference tournament? If you were bad enough to lose in your first game of the conference tournament, you ain't making it very far in this one. That's how I feel about it. You got to be playing well in March. It's really difficult, which is another reason why Ohio State maybe is a little funky. I just don't believe in Loyola Chicago. I don't think they're very good. I don't see what clear matchup advantage they have here. I guess pick and rolls with Kennedy. So if Kennedy plays really, really well, I could see him beating Loyola Chicago winning through pick and roll. If they just spam pick and rolls with their guards, I guess I can see that. But I just think Branham's better. I think there's no one to guard Liddell. Who's going to guard Liddell? The AGWAC guy? That guy's going to guard Liddell? No, he's not. No, he's not. Not to success. No, he's not. It's the same thing when people are like, Leaky Black's going to guard Lewis Jr. It's like, is he? Maybe, but not to success. I mean, I guess it's better. You'd rather have that than Brady Manick on him, but I don't think they can guard. Ohio State's guards are awful defensively. Yeah, they give up a lot of open shots. I agree. They're not great, but I actually think in just a game where it's Wheeler, I think it's almost a little different in the Villanova game, weirdly. Because I think you would just stick Wheeler and have him follow around Gillespie, I guess. I think that might be beneficial. Liddell had 28 versus Penn State, and they still lost. Yeah, Penn State was playing well at the end of the year, though. I think Penn State matchup, in a lot of ways, you can get similar vibes if you watch the Penn State game and then you watch and you think about how Notre Dame's going to match up with Rutgers. I think you can get similar vibes. Wheeler is so terrible. He's not good, but I think he can be good defensively when you need him to. Buckeyes been playing bad lately. Yeah, I can't have them going too far. I think it's a little bit of hoping and praying. So this is where my head was at, because I think Villanova is a – see, look, I wrote maybe hoping Ohio State to ensure Tennessee gets there. So that's what I wrote. Maybe hoping Ohio State to ensure Tennessee gets there. So I obviously am hoping a little bit, being forthright with my hoping in this section of the bracket, because I think Villanova would cause Tennessee some problems. That would be where I'm going to have some issues, because I think Gillespie's going to be able to do a lot of the things he wants to do. And then, we have some issues there. Because then, like, kind of just the amorphous and just with the younger team that could be like a little erratic at times. And then you have like younger guards anyways versus Jay Wright. I have some issues with Tennessee getting by Villanova. Who is that?
No.
Who is that? That delivery person? Hold on one sec.
Hey man, how's it going? Good. Stop. Yeah. I'm the phone guy. Everybody up here has a test control service, either ready test or I don't know if I have one. Like not too long ago, yeah. Thanks, man. Good, thanks. Sorry, I'm doing like a live stream right now. My bad. Joe, can you come over here and get information from him? Because I guess I need information on that stuff. Like I'm not my little brother yet. So can you grab information? Yeah. We just started yesterday. I think we should around 7 tonight. We should be here. That works much better. Jake. Is it last year the Twitch or? Yeah, just I'm going over the brackets about basketball. So that's why you Yeah. Dude, I'm going through right now. I'm going back on my Tennessee pick as we speak, so I'm not sure. I'm gonna have to get back to the end of tonight. Gonzaga stinks. Arizona, I can see that. All right, bro. We'll talk a little bit later. Thanks, bro.
Sorry. Someone going doorbell. No, it was no, the pancake magnets are not here. No, it's somebody for pest control shit, but it's like a new company. The guy was interested in basketball. He said Arizona or Zags. No, the pancake magnet, it's only one. I have to find out. The only cool one I really liked, they only had one. All right. So that I think I am maybe hoping a little bit on Tennessee, because I really just believe in Chandler and Ziegler for some reason. But I think Villanova would be a pretty bad matchup. I don't think Villanova is good. I just have to be honest, dude. They're not good. If you really think about it, like, and I went on the premise of when we took Creighton in the Big East championship game against Villanova, I was basically on the premise that Villanova is not good, because otherwise, if they're good, Creighton's gonna have a problem. That's why we only fucking avocadoed that. Villanova's just not good. I'm sorry. And putting them all the way, there's no way they beat Arizona, in my opinion. No way. There's no way. So I have either Tennessee beating Arizona ultimately with the guard play, or because then you can put JJJ on Mathurin or Terry, probably on Terry, and you just make Mathurin beat you on your own without Terry's playmaking off the bounce. So I have Creighton beating Kansas. The drop coverage versus that shooting scares me a little bit, Aaron Holtz. Versus that scares me a little bit, just from like Agbaji and Braun and stuff. So that scares me a little bit. Can Houston beat Arizona? I don't think so, because I think then it's almost like they're going to get UAB'd. And then I don't think their guard play is going to outplay Mathurin or whatever, and what will probably trend towards a lower scoring game. They can hang with a Houston fine on the boards, keep Fabian White. They have good matchups against Fabian White, who's the best player for Houston by a mile. So I will take that side of things. I think Tennessee could beat Houston. I can see Nova beating Tennessee. Credit Joe, I am on the exact same damn thing. SDSU over Kansas, I have a hard time with. We'll get to that in a second. I think SDSU over are you talking about South Dakota State? South Dakota State. With SDSU, we got to be careful because we also have San Diego State and South Dakota State. So San Diego State, they're not even in the same bracket. I have no idea what I'm talking about right now. What's your opinion on conference tournament winners you feel they're going to cover in the first round? I don't know. It doesn't mean anything one way or another. I just know you can't like bow out of your conference tournament 2 seconds in. I don't think a loser of the first round of their conference tournament has won a NCAA championship since like the early 90s too. So both those trends, you have to be like top 25, top 40 in offensive and defensive efficiency, and you also can't lose in your first round of your conference tournament. Both of those would be trends that haven't been broken in 25 plus years. So generally, Tennessee doesn't fit that mold. I don't think they get there. In terms of, is it offensive or defensive efficiency? Probably offensive efficiency? Defensive efficiency, I guess. I missed the Midwest. No, the Midwest is last, brother. Casey Merrill, it's last. Wait, can we talk about Rutgers? I hammered them at even odds 2 days ago. I'm afraid of the spread. I'm afraid of Notre Dame really spreading them out, and then kind of like with how balanced they are, I think that takes away a lot of the advantages. Like, I don't care if you just blanket Wesley with McConnell. That, like, I'm fine with that. I think Wesley's super overrated, and I think the rest of the pieces are going to get too good of shots. I think Lzuski's probably going to get a decent amount of open shots. Okay. So I think we're good here. So I have Arizona over Villanova. I don't think there's any way Villanova and those guys inside. I mean, they're just going to completely take away all of them. And then it's just like Gillespie with someone giant on him trying to beat Arizona. There's no way that can happen. Houston Illini explanation before we switch. I think a lot of it is going to be similar to like the UAB thing where it's like I run into against a Houston team that's going to be so freaking fundamentally sound. I just don't – they're going to defend the three-point line well. You're not going to – so it's going to be just tons of contested threes from Plummer and stuff. If I trusted Malachi Smith and the Tennessee Chattanooga offense more, they make a lot of really boneheaded mistakes. And I think that's a problem versus Illinois. But otherwise, I would fade Illinois. Illinois has no point guard. They're throwing the ball out of bounds at the end of games, and it's basically like Kofi Coburn and just contested threes. I mean, they stink. Illinois stinks. I think they both stink. Houston and Illinois both stink. I would love, but I think they gave the two lower seeds playing them terrible matchups. But I trust, as crazy as it is, I would just trust like Fabian White to just like, fucking get to the rim versus Hawkins. I would trust the size on the perimeter to give Illinois enough fits, make it hard to shoot over them on the perimeter. I just think they'd be able to, the offensive rebounding would take away a lot of things. I just think they'd have a lot of problems with it. Does OSU or Loyola match up with Nova better? I want to say Loyola just from like a, they're better at bad. They're going to be more fundamentally sound. They'll be better with assignments, leaving guys open. Ohio State still has the better players than both of them to me. I still think Branham and Liddell are better than anybody on either of those teams by like a decent margin. Although Marquise Kennedy's got some big old stones. But I think coaching edge and experience and stuff in those kind of spots, you would have to give to Holtman too. He can probably better match up and scheme with Jay Wright than fucking, Baby Valentine. So I'm going to take Ohio State to win a couple here. I know it's an unpopular opinion, but I think Branham is just going to say, fuck you. I think Liddell can drop 40 in the first game. OSU losing to Maryland is a mental block for me. Maryland has an extremely high ceiling, just has a crazy low floor. Like the crazy bipolar chick. They're like a really hot chick, Maryland is a super hot chick. It's like, man, she's awesome sometimes, but man, this is the lowest of the low other times. It's like, why can't I just have a little fatty boom baladi? You've been looking into NIT games at all? I gave out Washington State yesterday. Wait, what made you turn around? Credit Joe? Nova size. Yeah, I guess it's kind of relative though, like Dixon and stuff. But like Dixon's going to get swallowed up in any matchup with Arizona. I don't think Nova can win it all. I disagree with that. Do you like Bryant money line? I would lean that way because of the zone looks they're going to give them and how poorly Wright State's handled the zone. Like if Northern Kentucky just doesn't have a complete and total meltdown, turning the ball over every 3 seconds, they probably don't lose that game, and they're not even here. So I just think Wright State kind of is lucky to be here. Although fucking Bryant's lucky to be here that the Mount St. Mary's guard got knocked out cold in that game or they were going to lose. Are you not worried about Williamson on Branham? No, not really. Not as much as I thought I'd be. Branham's kind of big. He's a lot more talented. I guess I should be a little bit. But I think they're going to go heavy through Liddell. Yeah, I just think Branham's had enough licks on the I think Branham's so much better. Isn't Ohio State banged up? Yeah, there should be no Zed Key or Kyle Young. If there was Kyle Young, I mean, I would definitely have them going through to these 2 rounds. I think everybody should have it if they were playing. Kiss prop bet 25.5 points over under. I don't know. I like Pride a lot more. I think Charles Pride's much better than Kiss. So I think Tennessee can beat Villanova, but I think that's a tough matchup just with how the guards and what they're going to do to Jay Wright's going to do to the guards and stuff. And then you can kind of have like Gillespie and Daniels, I guess, guard them. I would have a problem. That's a problem for me. Who the hell does Creasa guard versus Nova and Mathurin has had a really bad stretch of defense? I don't know. Do you think Creasa's going to play? Gillespie will post him to death, or you double and they bang first 4 threes of the game. You trust the big guys enough to hang inside, though? I get that. I don't know if Crease is going to play, dude. His ankle was fucked. I get he was like throwing his Crocs in the stands and stuff. Do you really think he's going to play? That's a good point. Mathurin has had a really bad stretch of defense, but they also have to put the ball in the hoop then. Caleb Daniels stinks. I don't want to have to be the one to say it, but he stinks. I feel bad. I don't want to be that guy. He stinks. I think Tennessee winning the whole thing, and the only matchup I'm scared of is Nova. Same, Aaron Holtz. I have Tennessee winning the whole thing too. If Arizona gets upset, I think Villanova or Kansas gets the final. I'll have to rethink that because I'm getting more and more worried because Villanova can't lose to Delaware. You physically can't do it. There's great matchups for Jair Davis, and then the rest of it works itself out. There's just no, you physically can't do it. I think Ohio State's going to win this game, but maybe pick and roll just gets there for Loyola. Maybe Loyola can take out Villanova, and then Tennessee gets their revenge. I just have a hard time. I mean, maybe I just shit on this Loyola team too much. I really do. I've been so biased against them this year. Yeah, he did show a nasty picture of Kirk Reese's ankle. Samuels has been the 5 and been good, and yes, Dixon sucks, but he doesn't play much anymore. Yeah, but now we're just like, so it's Samuel, Slater. I like Slater a lot, but I don't think that small ballish lineup you're telling me I don't think they can hang with Arizona. There's something about Arizona that I just trust when Kirk Reese is not on the floor. I'm like, man, I like the way this looks. Serious question. Do you get behind the efficiency stuff? Championship teams from 40% efficiency? Yeah, I mean, Casey Merrill, there's some logic to it. So I said that before. I think you have to be like 40% efficiency or above offensively and 25% or above defensively or vice versa, whatever it is. Yeah, I mean, I get behind some of that. I mean, it makes sense. So I can get behind a decent amount of that. I mean, the same thing with like not losing in the first round of your conference tournament. It's like a similar time period. Both of those, since like the early 90s, no team has won. But they both make sense. You have to be playing reasonably well, and you have to be a reasonably efficient team to be the best team in college basketball that year. Makes a lot of sense. So I generally get behind it. That's where you're going to run into a little problems with Tennessee. Tennessee still is very young at the guard spot. I just kind of think Kennedy Chandler's that guy. If Creasa can't play, AZ wins it all. I could see that. Dude, I can see that. I think Mathurin and Dalen Terry are so impressive together. Dalen Terry's really impressive. Why do you like Bryant? Zone defense. I'm fading Big Ten except Iowa. Okay, so maybe we should get onto that one. But for me, I actually really like this. I think it's Arizona over Villanova. I think it's an outside chance TCU gets there from the top of the bracket, but they're just gonna have to hit such. It's like all their shooting. Just Miller and O'Bannon got to go fuck you from deep, and the TCU can get here. But I think it's most likely Arizona over Villanova or Tennessee over Arizona. Let's go Midwest to the scariest bracket, in my opinion. This is the hardest one for me. I had by far the hardest time on this one. Definitely the hardest time on this one. Vermont efficiency too good to fade, in my opinion. Against who, though? MSU, the only Big Ten school above the efficiency lines. Yeah, but their defense kind of sucked. But you gotta, it's who they played against with the efficiency too. If you just have this crazy efficiency against like your little brothers, like, I mean, when I played fucking basketball in the backyard with my little brothers when I was a kid, I had crazy efficiency, dude. I fucking hit almost every shot. It was really impressive. Richmond Elite Eight. It's going to be a high scoring game. And there is something I'm kind of like thinking. I was getting so high on Iowa, and then I was like rewatching the Indiana-Iowa game in my head, and I'm like, dude, the narrative on Iowa is completely different if they don't just go fire from deep down the stretch in that game. They lose to Indiana, and then you've lost 2 out of your last 3 in like weird fashion almost. I don't know. Can't buy into Iowa State as somebody who watches a lot of Big 12. I get it. I just think they're built for tournament play. So let's get into this. Let's get into this one. And then you guys pick me apart because this is by far, this is the one I'm least confident in the most. Kansas over, I guess that's Texas Southern now. I get Texas Southern plays some good defense, but you can't turn the ball over that much against guards like Kansas's. Non sequitur game. Let's go to Kansas. I think San Diego State versus – oh, shit. My bad. San Diego State versus Creighton. Wow, I didn't see that. There's never been a team to make it to the Final Four with an SOS over like 85 or something. Interesting. Yeah, I mean, you got to be tested. We got to know what the fuck we're looking at. Okay. I absolutely hate this bracket, but I do think San Diego State's going to beat Creighton. I think that, like, if you just look what Creighton's done the whole season, the reason why they had such good success against UConn is because they basically just played drop coverage, and UConn can't figure out drop coverage because they're not actually coached. So drop coverage versus San Diego State, I just see Matt Bradley absolutely fucking eating them. Elijah Roth, you're a huge Matt Bradley guy. You think Creighton gets STSU and Kansas? Cal Cabrenner is awesome, and no Nemhard. No Nemhard is the biggest net positive ever. That's what, did you guys see if anybody logged into the bracket? Did you see what the slogan for our bracket is? Never trust a Nemhard, baby. That's the slogan for the bracket. Tucker Richardson on Colgate is that guy, pal. Hey, I don't hate that Spyro drag. Is that Spyro the Dragon, that game from when we were kids? I played that Spyro the Dragon game. Not a whole lot going on in that game. I just remember being a fucking dinosaur just flying around in circles. Did you do anything? Did that do anything? I'm so confused. Yeah, I'm starting to lose hope in SDSU. Not quite sure if Bradley is that guy. That was my original take, Elijah Roth. I said he wasn't that guy. Now I'm like, he is that guy. I got so many problems. Yeah, how did Spyro become so successful? I have no idea. It is weird. All right, everybody recognizes it. Yeah, that game, you didn't do anything. You just flew around in circles as a fucking dragon. It's like the dumbest thing ever. All right. I saw the Jack State coach has a ton of success from Pearl when the guy was at Kentucky Wesleyan or whatever, and Pearl was, I forget where. Okay, let's dive through this. I'm not sure Matt Bradley is that guy either, but against a drop coverage, I have problems betting against him because his like little fadeaway jumpers and all the little goofy things, he's very good at that shit. And I think they might have problems guarding that. Creighton might have issue, even with like Cal Cabrenner on him, Kaluma on him. I know Kaluma's awesome, and that's a pretty good matchup to have on him. but I just am getting worried. And I think like the defensive identity guy, I heard the 3-Man Weave podcast put it really well, but they were like this year Creighton's adopted a defensive identity, and it's like the Bane thing, like San Diego State lives in the dark, and it's like Creighton has like merely adopted the dark. And it's like, but San Diego State's like mulling around in the shadows, like, we live here. And they're like, you nearly adopted the dark. Welcome to the dark. Oh, nice. The bracket pool worked. Thanks, Credit Joe. That's good at work. So I'm taking San Diego State in that because I think Bradley has enough to get them by here. I don't think they have enough to get by Kansas. I don't think Kansas is playing incredibly well to round out the season. I'm going to take the winner of this section to beat Kansas no matter what. I know that. So I like this. I'm pretty confident in this part. Iowa-Richmond, I don't think Richmond's going to be able to keep up, and I don't know who's going to guard the Murrays. Like wings like that are going to absolutely just demolish Richmond. They're too big for the Burton guy and stuff, and I think they're just going to absolutely kill them. I like Gilliard. I think they're a fun story, but I don't think you can guard those two. Greg Ostertag, yeah, Greg Ostertag is the mascot for this. Is the mascot. Wow, I thought you were a Providence hater. I've never been a Providence hater. How have I ever been a Providence hater? Yeah, I absolutely love Greg Ostertag. I thought he was the man. Okay. So I picked Iowa because I don't think Richmond can guard the Murrays. I also think Perkins and stuff, like I want to take Iowa to beat Providence. Providence against South Dakota State. I get South Dakota State has really good shooting, whatever people want to say about Providence. Dude, I don't think these guards. Dude, look what – does anybody remember? Everybody's on South Dakota State. Absolutely everybody's on South. We'll get to San Fran and Murray State. I took Murray State. I don't trust San Fran's guards enough. And if Masalski was healthy, it would be a different story. But I need inside presence against Murray State if I'm going to take them. Otherwise, I have to trust Trevin Brown. Trevin Brown is like literally a permanent stay in the tournament. That kid has big old balls. Ostentatious lives just down the road from me. Ostertag? Best days ahead. Are you being serious? Dude, is there any way I can get in touch with him? You have to message me. If Greg Ostertag actually lives near you, I'd fucking, oh my God. Wait, SVP called out Providence, Tevin Brown? Oh, my bad. That is my bad. I should get his name right. Dude, no way. If Greg Ostertag really lives down the street from you, I'm the biggest Greg Ostertag fan there is. It's the weirdest thing to say, but I have signed balls by Greg Ostertag. I got a couple of posters of him upstairs. I have no idea why I'm a huge Greg Ostertag and Bryant Reeves fan, but I am. Dude, best days ahead, message me. Is he a cool guy? Okay, sorry. Off topic. I don't think South Dakota State can beat Providence, dude. I think athleticism is just going to kill them. I think off the dribble, like, have you watched? It's like the Arians, Schneierman, those guys are going to keep Durham and Bynum from getting to the spots they need. Is that a real thing? Everybody that's taking South Dakota State, it's like, I get it. Everybody's like, Providence is so lucky. Providence is so lucky. At what point does luck become just winning? Because they've been lucky for a whole season now, and I see them just grit out wins at the end of games, get the timely shots they need, and everybody just goes, oh, that's super lucky. Oh, that's super lucky. Is it? 40% threes, 5 guys, that doesn't scare you? I think that I've seen Providence put up 100 points in Big East games against much superior guards and go shot for shot with them through a whole game. No, it doesn't. I mean, it's not like the most comforting matchup ever. I'm not saying I'm like super fucking wildly confident. Watson on the inside is going to be unstoppable. Agreed, little Vinny. I think he murders Douglas Wilson. I think Wilson can do some stuff offensively on the other end, but I think he absolutely just murders him. So I like Providence. I love that everybody's on South Dakota State. I don't think they're very good. I watched the South Dakota State team. I bet on them big with George Mason earlier in the year. If I'll take George Mason, I'll fucking take Providence. And then, dude, South Dakota State got blown out by Washington because they couldn't keep Terrell Brown from doing whatever he wanted. They have terrible dribble penetration versus guards. Absolutely terrible dribble penetration versus guards. South Dakota State is way overrated, in my opinion. There's no way they could do anything in the tournament because they can't keep a guard in front of them. If you can't keep guards in front of you, what are you going to do? You can't just hit 40% from threes every game. They're actually 44% from three, I'm pretty sure. They're like by far the best shooting team in the country, but – 40% from three, I'm pretty sure. They're like by far the best shooting team in the country, but – 40% from three, I'm pretty sure. They're like by far the best shooting team in the country, but 40% from three, I'm pretty sure. They're like by far the best shooting team in the country, but What's the biggest underdog you got winning the first round? I don't know. Is it Iowa State? Did I actually have winning? It might be Iowa State. I think Indiana can win, though. I think Vermont can win. I think they just really fucked a lot of the low seeds. Okay, so I'm taking Providence. I just don't care. And then I feel like I'm overselling. I just do. When I make my list of teams that I think can win it all, Providence checks every box. I get the Iowa matchup is going to be super annoying. But like, I think the Murrays are going to be annoying keeping them in front of you and stuff. And we know that Providence is much better like vertically than laterally. So I want to take Iowa so bad. I want to take Iowa so bad in this matchup. I just don't think they're there. It sucks because I think I'm overrating them in my head. And it's just like, you kind of look like Greg Ostertag. You are a sick fuck, Elijah Roth. You are a sick fuck. That's a compliment, though. I appreciate that. So what happens if Kansas gets to Auburn? What happens if Kansas gets to Auburn? I'll take Kansas. I would never take, out of pure respect, I would never take Auburn's guards over Kansas's guards. That would be that's a pretty wild fucking mismatch. But I don't think Kansas's guards over Providence guards is a wild mismatch. I think for everybody that's saying, yo, Providence is fake, Providence this, you are drastically underrating Al Durham. You are being very, very disrespectful to Al Durham, who has done nothing but drop his nuts on the table repeatedly this season. So I think people that have Providence going out in the first round, you're being wildly disrespectful to Al Durham, and you're being wildly disrespectful to Ed Cooley. Yeah, I don't think Providence can win the whole thing, but to think they're going to make some short tourney run, I think is ridiculous. It's kind of a similar thing, though, if you want to say the same thing out of Boise State. I think Boise State is very similar juice. So that Memphis pick, but I think Boise State beats Gonzaga anyways. So I think whoever beats Gonzaga, I think it's easier for Memphis, obviously, but I think Gonzaga. So there's something about that with Boise State. Boise State's just getting by on a little more like ineptitude from the opponent, in my opinion, in a lot of spots, where it's like you guys just are really fucking up and you guys are basically just hitting game-winning shots. Providence just makes plays and they get good offense at the right time. I'll take the Murrays over Durham, all due respect to Durham and Bynum. Yeah, I want to. I really, really do. I really want to take the Murrays. There's just something where it's like, I mean, at the end of that Indiana game, they're just chucking up threes. I mean, I granted they're pretty good threes. I think out of the final 5 threes they hit, I think 3 of them were really good threes. I mean, obviously the Bohannon one at the end is whatever. But they hit a bunch of really good threes. There's something. I think Iowa is going to end up getting bodied or something. Like I think Watson would give Iowa all kinds of problems. Feel like, where is that Providence game? I'm not sure. Where is this? Dayton? Indy? Feel like USC could beat Auburn. Auburn doesn't run offense. It's bad to watch. USC's attempt at running offense makes me sick. So I agree. I think USC could beat Auburn. I can see it. I like USC. I really like their players. I have problems with just their guard play. Just why can't USC beat offense, top 5 in rim defense? Yeah, I think so. There's something. USC's guards just make me sad inside when I watch them run offense and watching like them go back and forth between like a Goodwin inside and then a Mosley trying to attempt something after getting the ball in the wrong spot. And then Boogie Ellis trying to do too much. And then Drew Peterson trying to do too much. And then Boogie Ellis trying to do too much. Then Peterson trying to do too much. And then down the stretch, for some odd fucking reason, fucking Andy Enfield has like Reese Dixon Waters in the last 2 minutes of a game, even though he's a freshman and is making mistake after mistake. We got to still remember what a shit coach Andy Enfield is. He is such a shit coach. Yeah, I really thought a Boogie would be a better player at this point. Me too, Elijah Roth. If that had come into fruition, just like if Jeremy Roach had come into fruition, I'd be all over those teams as winning a championship, to be honest. But just the Drew Peterson, Boogie Ellis back and forth shit, they don't play together at all. I wouldn't be surprised if that team hates each other. Drew Peterson, for as much as I like him, seems like a douche. And he looks punchable to me. If I was on his team and he was like turning the ball over at half court repeatedly, I'd be like, dude, I want to punch you. You're a lot more fun when you're making every shot. Why are we fading Cameron McGusty? The problem I have with this, let me continue. Hold on. Let me continue. You're right. Explain the bottom of the Midwest. Good point. So that's how I ended up. I just believe in Providence. I can't do it. I just believe in them. It's either Providence or Iowa to me. I don't think Kansas is playing well enough. I don't think Agbaji's being assertive enough, and I think he's more than willing to let a Braun do it, which is going to end up hurting them. So that's why I end up with Providence there. I just trust Durham more than I trust a lot of other people in this tournament. LSU and Iowa State have very similar SOS and win percentage. Definitely a coin flip. Should be a guard win, game win. I don't think it's a coin flip in my opinion. I can see people saying LSU is going to should be able to hurt them on the O boards. Should be able to use some of the size and score inside. I don't trust that. So these two teams both force a lot of turnovers in very different ways. LSU is a lot more like ball pressure, on-ball pressure, shit like that, which might give Hunter some problems. It might not. But Iowa State's more like jumping passing lanes and being really smart on defense. I think they're going to turn LSU over a million fucking times. There's like the worst coach in the world coaching LSU now. And on top of it, like, you know, if Brandon Murray was the primary guy on LSU, I'd be all over LSU. I don't trust Xavier Pinson as far as I can throw. Xavier Pinson is going to turn the ball over like 60 fucking times in that matchup. And I think it's an awful matchup. I think, like, from a guard perspective, I think maybe we get burned on the boards. Maybe we can't make a shot. I think that Iowa State's offense plays up in a tournament setting. I think they can slow the pace down. And then between Brockington, I think Kalsher is going to come to play. He's a senior. He's been in a bunch of these. It's important time. He's never shot it well in his entire career. He's got an awesome shot. It is time. I'm dreaming a little bit. I'm obviously dreaming a little bit. You can probably throw Pinson pretty far, to be fair. Carson, you're the man. Does Tennessee match up well against Arizona? I think so. I think it'd be really hard to guard those two guards, and then you just have a scoring contest with them. Because they're like, Arizona couldn't get it done against Tennessee the first time around. Granted, Crease had a terrible game, and that game was officiated terribly. But hit your vape for us. That I can do, Tim Fred. I don't know. That stuff will never get to me. You can never get to me with vape stuff. I'm 32. Bro, I look younger. I'm fucking 32. You can't get to me with that. Iowa State, I just trust, dude, I trust Brockington more. I trust Kalsher way more. Like Grill, whoever, than LSU. Dude, LSU has found a way to lose games all season. Why would they suddenly just figure out how to get it done? Because they don't have a Tremont Waters. Like last time when Wade got suspended or whatever and they went without a coach, they had Tremont Waters, who basically called the plays on offense and defense. They're not going to have that this year. Iowa State gets through. I like Iowa State in that game. I am 32, dog. I appreciate that, but I am 100% definitely fucking 32. Whisk over Colgate, sure, I get it. I think Colgate covers. But I watched Colgate's matchups with Boston U for some reason this season, and I don't think there's any fucking way they can stop Cummings or I don't think they can stop. I don't think they can stop any of them, but most certainly Johnny Davis, gimpy ankle or not, I don't think there's any way they can stop him down the stretch of a game. I don't think there's a flying chance in hell that the Richardson, Ferguson, the Nelly Cummings little motorboat guy, he reminds me of those little things you bop on the head in Mario. You like jump on them, the little brown things, and you just jump on them and bop them. That's what Nelly Cummings reminds me of. Colgate was better, yeah, when they had Jordan Burns. I mean, Jordan Burns, I'm pretty sure, is in the G League now. I absolutely agree. I just don't think – I think Colgate's crazy. I think people that are taking Colgate based on a lot of their metrics are – it's just fucking insane to me to take them over Weska. Goombas. Yes, Tyler Rose. Goombas. Why am I so high on Iowa State? Because I think they're – I've heard a lot of contrasting theories on TJ Otzelberger, whether he's a good coach or not. He might not be the best offensive coach in the world, but I think he's a damn good defensive coach. I think Iowa State's a really good off-ball defending. I think they have the guys to make the shots in a tournament setting. I think Tyrese Hunter's gotten all this time to grow, and I think he's an awesome player. Like, I get he's a freshman point guard. It's going to be tough, but we don't have to get all the way there. I think Brockington and Kalsher, in terms of 2 scoring guards, can get what you need in a lot of games that are going to be lower scoring trending, in my opinion. I think they can get through this whole side of the bracket without ever seeing a 70-point game. Literally. I think never even a 70-point game. Team with a SOS past 125 has not covered a game in modern tournament history. Colgate is 199. Tyler B coming with the fact. I like that shit. Iowa versus Iowa State Elite 8 matchup. I know. I was thinking that too. I don't know why the battery. What's up with this thing? I have to figure this out with my phone. I didn't charge it. So I think Iowa State can beat Wisco. I think they match up well. They're not going to punish. I think Iowa State, you really got to beating them up inside and playing good defense is the best way to beat them, in my opinion. I don't think Wisco is going to do that. And Wisco Gimpy, you put Brockington. Okay, you want to put Brockington on Davis. Now I like that a little bit more. I think Iowa State shot making. Wisco's not playing that well. I'll take Iowa State in that. I think their perimeter defense between Kalsher make Chucky Hepburn beat you. I know Chucky Hepburn's good, but I don't think he's that good. I really like how Iowa State will play in a tournament setting because I'm pretty confident that they're going to be the ones to control pace in almost every game they play. Big time players playing big time games. Got to go Johnny Davis. I agree. It's just he's a little gimpy. I think that's enough to get by Colgate, but I'm worried longer term. So I'm going to take Iowa State to advance. I like this team, and I just truly, since Gabe Kalsher was a fucking freshman, I was like, I want to back this guy. And I've lost a lot of money back in this guy, but I think the time is coming. Wisco has no business being a 3. I kind of agree with that. Johnny Davis can disappear. You're not wrong. He also misses some free throws at the end of games. I don't want to have to be the one to say it. I love him. Well, it's because he had to play with Marcus Carr. You're not wrong. Okay. I'll take them. USC over Miami. I mean, I get typically it would be like guard play versus inside play. There is a really wide disparity at inside here. Like, it is a scary disparity. And if Isaiah Wong was playing well, I'd have a Miami ticket already. If Isaiah Wong's playing well, give me my Miami ticket. Isaiah Wong's played like shit the whole second half of the season. He's been hanging out with Paul Scruggs. He's been hanging out with who else is in just the completely checked out category? Paul Scruggs definitely there though. USC bad at free throw shooting, turnovers. Yep, their guard play I think is very limiting. That's why I can't put them past Auburn, just because I just see fucking USC just turning the ball over and over and over, and they don't run efficient enough offense. You can literally just alley-oop it every time in this matchup, I'm pretty sure. There's no resistance inside. I get Wardenberg's been playing Dell. We've been lauding Wardenberg all the time, just with this after time. I don't know how it gets done. I don't know how you stop it. I feel like he's going to be in foul trouble in 10 seconds. Full court press, sure. But I think there's enough. I mean, they did look really bad against a full court press, though. You're right. They looked really bad against that full court press against Washington. When Washington started running on him. Watson will eat versus Iowa. I agree. Can we put Miami in front of the Tigers? What does that mean? I was honestly expecting you to have some 15 seed pulling it up that upset. You're not dreaming enough. I'm a dreamer. I just can't do it. I think Jacksonville State can pull an upset. Oh, Miami. You guys want Miami here is what you're saying. Oh, yeah, I can't do it. I can't see them getting by all the size because I don't think they take good enough shots. If they took better shots, that's the thing that's surprised me the most about Miami is that they don't take as good of shots as I thought they would. Like I get like McGusty and Moore have been really good in a lot of situations. I think they should take a lot better shots. I don't like Wong's role at the end of games. I'm just relying. I still don't really like Charlie Moore that much. I liked him more at the beginning of the season when it was more fun and everything. Now I actually have to rely on Charlie Moore to win fucking college basketball games. It's fun, but maybe Miami doesn't let him get past half court. Maybe. But I have to go with USC. Oldest team in the NCAA going to push them past USC. Yeah, I just can't do I can't do the shot selection. I feel like Miami already had their moment going to Duke and winning. That was like a massive moment for all of them. It's not for me. It's not for me. I wish it was. It's not for me. I would have liked to see them play better down the stretch against Duke if they were going to do that. Like a lot of the things against Duke, like I feel like you should have been able to have like a one possession game with Duke. You gave away the end of the game against Duke. You guys gave it away. They didn't really take it from you. It's upsetting. I don't know. Watching Charlie Moore used to be a joke at KU. Happy to see him excel elsewhere, though. He still plays a lot like that, though, unfortunately. Okay. How ISU can match up with Walker and Jabari. They got to get the ball. It's like similar. So the argument that people are using on Miami, USC is like a fucking super valid argument. I get it. I just don't trust Miami's guards to finish the thing off enough. So we just watched Texas A&M beat Auburn. That's how how does Iowa State match up? The exact same thing with ferocious guard play that just turns them over every 30 seconds. I think that's we don't need to match up with fucking Walker and Jabari. They don't get the ball and they just take stupid shots and take threes and beat themselves. We're going to get in passing lanes. We're going to create all kinds of problems with turnovers, or they're just going to be they're going to be resorting with how difficult it is to pass the ball around the perimeter or get the ball to the guys they want in spots. We get Jabari Smith the ball in the worst spots possible. It's like a competition between USC and Auburn. It's fitting. They almost play each other. It's like, can we get Isaiah Mobley the ball in a worse spot, or can we get fucking Jabari Smith the ball in a worse spot? I don't trust Auburn's guards. We weren't on them in the beginning of the season. I was looking to fade them. They won me over a little bit. I think they're going to, in this game against Iowa State and how good their defense is, I think they're going to be resorting to just psycho drives at the rim where Katie Johnson is just like, hey, screw it. I'm just going to go psycho downhill at the rim. Hey, screw it. I'm just going to go psycho downhill at the rim. All of their guards doing that. Wendell Green doing that too. That's kind of what all their guards resort to do. It just looks better when Flanagan does it. I'm low on Auburn. I just am low on this part of the bracket. I thought I'd have Miami going really far, but their guard play is not steady. They get by on a lot of being older and shit like that, and you get some of your cuts, stuff like that. How is Miami going to get all the cuts that they get against USC? Like when everybody's talking about for USC, for Miami, you know how they get all like their backdoor cuts, all that kind of crap? Dude, USC's huge. You're not getting any of that here. You will be getting none of that. You're going to have to work for it all yourself. I don't think they're going to get easy baskets against USC, and that resorts to a lot of tough mid-range jump shots, shit like that from Miami. I like USC going through. I do like that. I can see USC beating Auburn. I just don't trust their guards, and I don't trust Auburn's guards versus this is a battle of I don't trust your guards more. They don't need cuts, USC turnovers. I can see it. I mean, I always want to be on the guard play. I can see the Miami angle. I just don't personally believe in that group enough. I really like McGusty, but do I believe in a McGusty jump shot to win it like it's happened a couple of times this year? No. I don't trust Wong this year, and I don't trust Charlie Moore. So it leaves me with like very little. I don't think a lot of the inside offense on like easy layups that McGusty gets or Jordan Miller gets are going to be there. Like all the inside offense is going to be gone. So I'm going to have to go USC as much as I don't want to and as bad as I think their guards are playing. I just have to do it. I don't have a choice. I think USC can just beat the shit out of them if they want. Dude, Iowa State does a lot of things between the perimeter defense and when their guards play up that they can win. Because I think also Brockington, is there a really good matchup for Brockington? Because generally that's a good way to beat them, right? Wisco, really good matchup for Brockington. I don't think a hobbled Johnny Davis is a really good matchup. LSU, I don't think they have a really good matchup. Like Wilkerson's too big. Maybe Brandon Murray, but not really. Pinson, not really. Gaines, too much of a head case. And then Auburn, I mean, if Flanagan was healthy, maybe. But you don't have a really good matchup for Brockington in this bracket. How long you running the live today? Tyler O's, this is the last one. So I'll try and we'll go over like who I think's winning and all that kind of shit. I don't think the defense can overcome the offense. I think in the Big 12, there's a lot of really good matchups to cover Brockington. I don't think there will be here, and I think Kalsher is going to go bonkers. Absolutely bonkers. Yeah, a lot of one-on-one ball from Iowa State. I agree. But I think if you can't cover Brockington, he can create a decent amount. I just really like the draw. Like LSU beats themselves. Wisco's all hobbled in a great matchup. Auburn beats themselves. It's like you're just playing a bunch of people who beat themselves. And then I end up with Providence or Iowa against Iowa State. And I ultimately think, I guess Perkins can probably guard Brockington. So maybe Iowa can beat Iowa State. I'm going with Iowa State. I'm rolling with Gabe Kalsher. I think Gabe Kalsher, if Kalsher or Grill hit their shots, they can win, but that's a big if. Blue P picks, I agree. I'm banking on Kalsher having the best NCAA tournament arguably in America. I'm putting a lot of stock into Gabe Kalsher. What are the implied odds of Bryant today? I don't know. I think it's probably like a 50-50 game, so if there's still dogs. I think they give up a little bit in guard talent. Is there a good cover for Basile? Can that big, goofy elitist guy cover Basile? Because generally, if he gets going, he makes Wright State a lot harder to beat. He might be able to. And they're both going to play the four-round one with that. I kind of like the way Bryant matches up, to be honest. And then they're going to throw the zone at the other end and let Wright State just jack threes. I mean, if Trey Calvin just goes, fuck you from three again, sure. But, yeah. So, I'm going Iowa State, dudes. And then I got Providence or Iowa playing. No, I don't believe Kansas is playing well enough either. For the people that were talking about that, I don't think Night Train, Marty Lane, I think Wright State can handle the zone. They've done a pretty fucking poor job of it this season. Both times against Northern Kentucky. I mean, they literally pulled that Northern Kentucky win of the tournament out their ass. Legitimately, like right out their cornhole. I mean, Northern Kentucky just turned it over like a million times in a row to end the game. I think it's very low percentage. And Trey Calvin was draining threes like we said he had to. So if Trey Calvin, hits 5-6 threes, sure, I think Wright State wins. I don't like Bryant, so I'm not super confident on that side. But I do like Charles Pride a lot, and I do think they have the matchup advantage. They've gotten a bit better against it, maybe. Maybe. Holden is still a guy. I mean, gun to my head, I'll take Calvin and Holden over Pride and Kiss. But I think I take the rest of the pieces in the matchup for Bryant more. Basile should just eat. Yeah, is he going to eat up? Is Elitas too slow? If Elitas is too slow, then maybe. But Kiss could go berserk because it's March. I don't think Kiss is going to go berserk on Holden. They're going to put Holden on him. I'd be more worried about Charles Pride. Charles Pride's the guy you got to be afraid of, not Peter Kiss. Peter Kiss is like a kid from Manhattan who's like a softie. I think he's from Manhattan. I'm pretty sure he's like a soft little turd, man. I think Peter Kiss is a softie. I'm just going to come out and say it. Softie. Yeah. I think Zona would win by 600. Kiss is so soft. Yeah, I think he's wildly soft. I think he stinks. I'm sorry. I don't think Peter Kiss is good. I don't think he's good. I think he's a softie, and I don't think he's good. Well, that kind of makes you want to bet on Wright State, huh? So I don't know. I think that's an issue in this game, this Iowa-Providence game. People talking about this. There's going to be a toughness advantage for Providence in this game. Don't get it twisted. There's going to be a toughness advantage in that game. Chad the Dad, who you liking today, Jake? Okay, so ultimately, real quick, I have Kentucky, Duke, Tennessee, Iowa State in my Final Four. But, damn it, I want to revisit now. I really want to revisit because I'm getting worried about Tennessee beating Villanova. That's really scary. Really, really scary. And then I'd have Zona playing Iowa State. I think Zona probably beats that. So Zona, Kentucky, we get interesting. Arizona, Kentucky, we get interesting. I can see that being it. Watch runs Wright State run away. I can see it, Tim Frey. I can see it. I just really, really like Charles Pride. And I actually, from watching it, I didn't think Wright State got better against the zone. I thought they were still kind of bad at it. And they just got really lucky making shots. And they got really lucky that Northern Kentucky started fucking turning the ball over every 2 seconds. And they got a lot of free, easy points off like layup, turnover, layup. And like that makes it look a lot better. But I still don't think they did very well against the zone personally. Just personally. I thought they had a lot of tough shots. I have Zona winning it all. I can see it. I think Kentucky would beat Duke. I don't think we'd ultimately have the guard play to get by there. It just sucks, but I don't think so because I think Sheboy might get Mark Williams into foul trouble too. I wouldn't like that with the experience. I needed to see a real point guard emerge on my team, and we haven't seen it, so I can't put Duke any further than the Final Four personally. Also have a world where Murray State beats Kentucky. I have a problem with Sheboy in that matchup and then how Keon Brooks is going to guard KJ Williams and just put so much on like Savon Wheeler matches up pretty well with the little little spark plug that Murray State has. I think Kentucky just matches up kind of awesome. I get there's an experience thing and maybe just like a brute fuck you toughness out of Murray State, but I kind of liked how Kentucky matched up. Does Vermont beat Arkansas? I love Arkansas. I can't see Vermont pulling it off. I can't see. I just wish Davis had a better matchup if I want to take Vermont. Like, I think Davis matches up better with, like, the Whaleys or Sonogo or any of them when they play UConn the second round. Granted, they're going to get beat up on the boards, but I think he matches up better offensively in what he can do. I don't think Davis can do anything versus Jalen Williams. I really don't. As sad as that is, I don't think he can do anything against him. Murray State, I don't think can beat Kentucky. I'm not sure whether they have like the firepower to be able to, with the inside presence for Kentucky plus the experienced guard play. Yeah, I'm having some trouble with that as well. So I end up with like a Kentucky-Tennessee Final Four at current, which I have Tennessee winning. I can also end up with an Arizona-Kentucky Final Four where I would arguably have Kentucky winning. That would be tough. Man, can Mathurin and Dalen Terry get the job done? Why so big on Iowa State? I just really like them from a tournament standpoint, the way they can play in the tournament setting. I think they can control pace. I think they have a lot of advantages. I don't think there's anybody in this bracket to guard Brockington, which is the first step to beating them. If you look at like the games where they really, really struggle, dude, I like the Arizona pick. They have Juju. If Kirk Carissa just stays out, because I think the more you think about it, like if you're just going to take away Sheboy and then you have like fucking, is it like Kellen Grady going to try and guard Dalen Terry off the bounce or something? Or one of them, or like Ty Washington just going to guard everyone as a freshman. I would take Arizona over Kentucky. And Tommy Lloyd's a pretty fucking awesome coach. Coaching is key. I agree with that. But I think Villanova stinks at basketball. I can't get behind Villanova. I think they're bad. How did Iowa State even get in? Tim McFadden, you know, I was thinking the same thing. Just from the board, I was like, why are they not in a playing game? But they did really well in the non-con. And I think they're so matchup driven, dude. It's like, do you have a guard for Brockington or not? I have Duke, UCLA, and Zona Wisco. I get it. Guard play-wise, I get it. Tommy Lloyd winning one in his first year would be hilarious if Mark Few just hasn't been able to do it. Final Four I don't have written down. UNT and Texas A&M got robbed. What does that mean? Are they playing in whatever NIT today? I'll go over games from today, but Final Four, I mean, I don't have it written down anywhere. It's in my bracket, but I have right now, I kind of want to switch to Arizona. But right now I have Duke, Kentucky, Tennessee, and Iowa State. Dude, I can see Indiana being in the Final Four. I'm telling you, I can see it. I can see Indiana in the Final Four. I really can. Arizona over Kentucky. That would probably be – I would either make Tennessee over Kentucky or Arizona over Kentucky. Kentucky definitely seems like a losing the championship game kind of team, huh? Where those senior guards are just kind of sad and you have to watch. You're like, oh, man, I would have liked them to win. but then they don't. I can see Duke making it same. I can too. Oh, UNT, Texas A&M got robbed. Okay, if there's a team that got robbed, it's Texas A&M. If anybody saw that packet Buzz Williams made or whatever, they got robbed. I tend to think Tommy Lloyd is a really good coach, by the way. I love Indiana, and they're primed for a run. I absolutely agree. But the biggest game, we got to find a way to go out on short prep time and beat St. Mary's, which is going to be really difficult. So we got to do that first. Games for today, real quick. I'm on Notre Dame. I think Wake Forest, Towson just has so much variance baked into it. Damn it. I want to switch to Arizona now. Fuck. Towson, Wake Forest. How many threes does Towson hit? We know Wake Forest gives up tons of threes. They're going to get killed on the O boards. If Charles Thompson was healthy, I'd have a Towson ticket. Charles Thompson was fucking the furthest thing from healthy in that Delaware game, so I have to lay off. It would probably be Towson or nothing for me, but I guess if Towson doesn't hit their threes, they're going to get beat by 40. Any chance Kansas gets to the Final Four if Okai goes Jimmer mode? Yeah, for sure. 1,000%. They have a point guard and they have Ochai Agbaji. I can see it. Just don't think they're playing very well, and I'm not sure Agbaji will ever go Jimmer mode. I don't think he'd ever be selfish enough to do that. He almost basically just takes shots when they absolutely need it. He's not a selfish guy at all. Probability of Arkansas to the Elite Eight, pretty good if they get out of the first round. I think the toughest matchup, the only team that's really smart enough to beat them in their bracket is Vermont. It's the first in that top section. It's Vermont, but they play them first. So if Arkansas just decides to be crazy with the ball, I think Vermont could definitely beat them. If Vermont hits some threes, they can definitely beat them. But I think it's more likely that Jalen Williams swallows up Davis, and then the just pure playmaking shooting from the guards alone is not enough. I think it's more likely. But I can see just fucking them turning the ball over every 3 minutes. I can definitely see that. Now you make me think Arizona are better defensively. I think Arizona's pretty good defensively, dude. I think if you have some tiny guards that are dude, we have to stop. Out. We're done. I think if you have I think Tennessee would be a kryptonite for them. Extremely quick guards off the bounce. I think it give Arizona some problems. Other than that, they're really good defensively. Yeah, I think they really are. So I think you're going to have some quick, shifty little guards, or I think you're going to have some problems. I wish I had a better read on Dayton versus Toledo. I know Dayton's got a bunch of injuries, and I see there's sharp action on Toledo. Somebody wrecked it to me today. I got a message from not a member of our group, just some sharp guy told me to take Toledo today, and I was like, nah, I'm good. Thanks. If I wanted to check out new sportsbook, Rock or Westgate. I would go to Westgate. Westgate's the OG sports book. It's the biggest one, most TVs, best, it feels the most like a sports book, whatever. Red Rock has a nice sports book too, though. But Westgate's the OG one, and you're probably staying on the Strip, right? Credit, Joe? So if you're staying on the Strip, Westgate's really close to you, and Red Rock's a 30-minute drive. So that would be a big decider for me. I wish I could take Toledo. I really do. I'm just not going to get murdered on the inside like that. I don't feel like doing that. Big letdown spot for Toledo, in my opinion, too. I guess it's a big letdown spot for both of them. Who knows who comes to play? I would have thought Colorado would have come to play harder against Bonnies. I would not expect the Bonnies to come out like that. So a lot of these motivational angles I don't want to take. I would never take Kent State today. Knowing what type of people are on that Kent State team, I would never with a 40-foot fucking stick touch them against Southern Utah today. I know that they're way more talented, should just beat them up and win whatever. They should have an answer for Spurgeon, stuff like that. Easy offense coming from that. Be physical. You actually have matches with Jacobs for John Knight and stuff. I get it. I think Kent State comes and lays a dud. I think Sincere Carey's going to go. You're going to be like, who is that? Is that the ghost of Sincere Carey? Why does he look like who is that? That's what I think is going to happen tonight. You said you had who in your finals? I have Kentucky, Tennessee right now with Tennessee winning. that fits outside a lot of those parameters we were talking about too before, in terms of like efficiency numbers. So that combined with the fact that Villanova's like the worst matchup in this tournament for fucking Tennessee. So that's a problem for me. So it's either that or Arizona over Kentucky. I don't know why everyone was so surprised by Oregon beating Utah State. Yeah, Utah State might just stink. Let's make a video and get suspended day before championship. Why? I don't want to get suspended. This keeps happening to me and I don't do anything. Imagine if I actually try to get suspended. We'll never get to use the account again. Long Beach State seems like way too many points to me, by the way. But I don't know. I don't have a good read on BYU right now. I think the Northern Iowa versus St. Louis game is sick. I'd rather be on St. Louis there, though. Because I don't think there's a really good – who's going to guard Jimerson that well? I think you're going to give Jimerson too much, so I'd rather be on St. Louis. I think it's probably a close game. Maybe I'll look to live St. Louis. The only thing I'm really taking today, I'm on Notre Dame. I don't want to be, but I just have to be. Oh, Kent State. Oh, let's make a video and get suspended one day before the championship. Credit Joe. My bad, dude. I think we just hit – yeah, we hit 2 hours. My brain just cooked. My bad. Do you have a favorite college team you root for? Duke, Spyro Dragon. Both my parents went there. My mom went to law school there, and my dad went undergrad and law school there. So I've rooted for them since I was a little kid. I grew up on like Shane Battier and Mike Dunleavy and Carlos Boozer and Jay Williams and them and Chris Duhon. I grew up on those guys. But I root for Lehigh too because I went there. So that's my team. So I root there. Iona or UF today? I went back and forth on that game. I have no idea how I would trust Florida to come out and play harder, weirdly enough, even though the coach stinks. I'd give a coaching edge to fucking, what's his face, Patino. Gun to my head, Iona. I would rather be on Iona. I'm a little worried about Castleton and them. But if I have to, I'll take Iona, I think. Nice. I went to Temple. I think they have a bright future. They have an amazing future. It's just a matter of role allocation now, making sure Strickland, all these guys want to accept whatever role they have once Dunn and Williams are both back as the feature points. Then you have all these forwards now. You almost need kids to transfer. As fucked up as it is, Spyro Dragon, I was thinking about it, but Temple basically needs a couple of the kids to transfer or they're going to have role issues because there's too many of them. They have too many good young players. It's crazy, but Temple has too many good young players. And a lot of them seem like they're alphas. Like I think the big guy Jourdain seems like an alpha. Strickland seems like an alpha. Dunn's definitely an alpha. They might have too many alphas. So it'll be interesting how Aaron McKee manages the personalities on that team. I think it'll be really interesting. Strickland entered the transfer portal. I think they need a stud big man. Man, I should just manage all this shit. I don't mean to be like that, but I can help a lot of these kids out, I think. I might have to be an agent. But yeah, yeah, he needed it too. That Strickland kid, I wonder where he goes. He's good. He plays good defense too. He might be. I wonder if he down transfers so he can become like a fucking just that guy on a smaller team and just do everything for them. Because if he goes to a real team, he's gonna have to play team basketball. I think he definitely does like being that guy. Bodie, what's up? You too, brother. I felt a little naked without doing the stream for a little bit there. That was my bad. I got my dad and my little brother are visiting. I don't get to see them all that often. It's just more family's always going to be the most important thing to me. I'll always defer whatever for family. That's just the way it is. It will always be that way for me. Okay. Is Duke over Arizona to win possible? Yes. I think Duke to win is possible. I just don't trust the guard play when it comes down to it. I don't trust them against any motion offense. I don't think I think it's going to be really difficult to beat Kentucky. Calipari's going to coach a way to beat them. And there's going to be too many open threes for like Kellen Grady and shit. You're just going to be like, damn it. I started like them once Coach K took over USA Basketball. Yeah, Coach K kind of fell asleep at the wheel. I wish he didn't do that because he might still have – he like kind of adopted this like NBA model or whatever when he did that. He kind of stopped coaching. The last however many years, I mean, even that year with Tyus Jones and them, it just so happened Tyus Jones is one of the best college point guards to ever walk the planet, like a Jalen Brunson type, and he didn't need Coach K to coach. But Coach K has probably checked out on coaching for a little bit. I like Iona and Pitino. Yeah, I'd lean Iona if I have to. 7 feels wide. It feels wide. But motivation-wise, weird spot for Iona. They definitely thought they were going dancing. They probably thought they were going to get in that large bid for most points of the season. So that's a really weird motivational spot. What do you think of the chances Miami beats USC? USC has let me down all year. I think they're decent. I mean, you can just – let's see. Are they going to press? That's what they should do after watching that Washington game. I was at that game. You literally just press the entire game. Just nonstop press the entire game. Will they do it? I don't know. I don't trust Miami's guards to take smart enough shots to win the game. That's my problem. And I love Miami's guards, but just that's kind of been the bugaboo in the back of my head this whole season. I'm like, you guys take some really fucking stupid shots. Who has the advantage big man-wise in Arkansas, Vermont? I think Jalen Williams is like a top 3 big man in the country. I think he's top 3 big man, defensive big man in the country. I think he eats the Davis kid up alive. I think if he plays like Drew Timme, he's going to fucking eat Drew Timme's face off. I think he's literally just going to fucking – you ever seen Face Off, that movie with Nicolas Cage and John Travolta? Well, right now, Jalen Williams is Nicolas Cage. And then if he plays Drew Timme, John Travolta. Maybe it's reversed. Who would you rather have? A Nick Cage. If you're in a basketball game, who would you take, Nick Cage or John Travolta in a basketball game? I guess I go Nick Cage. I'll go Nick Cage. Although John Travolta's crazy. John Travolta is definitely an insane on-ball defender. Insane on-ball defender. But you know Nick Cage can hit an outside shot. He's fucking stone cold. Like him, Keanu Reeves did an outside game-winning shot. They're just stone cold. I'll take Nick Cage did the outside shot. I'm afraid all the Miami kids are going to try and be that guy. Nice point, Marty Lane. I agree in that. No faith in Baylor in Shaerman. He's like a fucking 6'6" white guy with some decent handles that can shoot jump. I don't know. He's not like a point guard for me. Like, and that's kind of the role he semi-has to play on that team. I don't have enough. And then I don't have faith in like Wilson to just completely dominate that game on the other end. Although I think it's actually a pretty decent matchup for Douglas Wilson. That Providence team has the sauce to me. They have the sauce, dude. And I think they just win, and I don't think they're going to be able to keep the guards from doing what they want. Just Durham's going to be in the lane every time he wants. Bynum, they're just going to get the corner at will, just over and over and over again. I want UCLA. I want to believe UCLA can't get there. I think UCLA is so fucking – in a UCLA-Kentucky matchup, which way would you lean? I would lean to UCLA. I would lean to Kentucky. I think you'd have a plus matchup inside because I think for as much as like you'd have to play, I think you'd probably have to play Miles Johnson a lot more. But Sheboy's going to be just – I think Sheboy's a bad matchup against Miles Johnson or freaking Cody Riley. Yeah, that's not going to be good. Yeah, Sheboy's just going to eat them alive. And then I think Keon Brooks matches up pretty well, actually, with Jaquez from at least, like, if you're going to be smaller and, like, athleticism standpoint, you match up pretty well. They match up pretty well. Kentucky matches up nice. And then you have the guards to go head-to-head with them. Kellen Grady's got to have a big postseason, I think. For Kentucky to live up to all the aspirations we want them to, like, kind of as a group, I think we're going to need Kellen Grady to have a good postseason. I got Baylor in Elite Eight losing to Kentucky. I can see it. I just don't have Baylor getting by forget who. Indiana? Somebody. I don't know. My brain's starting to melt on itself. Oh, UCLA. Yeah, okay. I don't think Baylor would beat UCLA. That's too big a guard disparity, dude. I think Baylor beats Marquette. I think they're just able to beat them up too much inside. I think that's the kind of game where you have two awesome matchups for Lewis. People saying Leaky Black's going to guard fucking Lewis. No, he's not. But Kendall Brown and Sochan can. That they for sure can do. But then I think there's too much guard play out of UCLA. Like, you're going to fucking – come on, dude. We're not – Akinjo and Flagler are going to go head-to-head with fucking Campbell, Juzang, and Jules Bernard. Don't do that. Don't do that. It's really disrespectful. I don't like when people say things that are just such falsities. I'm very open. I want to be, I like everybody, whatever. Yeah, don't say things. That's disrespectful. I don't like when people say things like that. I know who James Akinjo is, okay? I'll argue with people about Matt Bradley. I'll argue about people with some other things. RJ Cole, let's have an argument. I'm not going to argue with people about James Akinjo. I'm not doing that. I know exactly who James Akinjo is. I've had more than enough James Akinjo tape for the rest of my life. I know who he is. I'm not taking Baylor to do. I think Baylor just had a pure program. People don't give Scott Drew the respect, but now Scott Drew deserves just institutional respect. The kind of institutional respect you're giving to Villanova and stuff like that, give it to Scott Drew. He deserves it. He really does. The stats are showing what it is. He deserves it. Antoine Davis and Detroit to get it done versus FGCU. I guess both those teams are so fucking just unfundamentally sound to me. I don't want to back. I would. My initial read was definitely. I think it's a close game. Do they have little jitterbugs? Do we have to trust McAdoo to chase around people? That's annoying. Probably don't want him to do that inside. Is that is the big guy for the big athletic guy for Detroit playing? That would be big for me. Masot or whatever his name is, Masot Acock, whatever the fuck his name is. Maset, Makut, I don't know. If that guy's playing, I'll take Detroit. If not, I don't have an opinion. I want something in there. I need that guy. I don't want to trust just fully on the other guys up front. I would like that guy. So if he's back, yeah, I'll take Detroit. Tennessee to make Elite Eight plus 215 was smashed. Basically just plus 215 on them beating Nova. Yeah, they got to beat Nova. That stinks. Yeah, that's a good line. You're going to get plus 215, and in the game, it's going to be, no wider than plus 130 or something. What, it would be -3 Villanova, -2. If you even have that, it will probably be a pick 'em, but the widest you could put it is -3 Villanova. So that makes a lot of sense. If hypothetically Arizona and Texas Tech made the ship, who would you think edges it out? Is TT Texas Tech? I don't even want to play hypotheticals Texas Tech making the championship. It's so far-fetched that I can't do it with people. Peter Kiss about to lead Bryant to the tourney. I hope so. It'd be good for him. I just can't do Texas Tech winning the championship. We talked about this before, and people really tried to I can't believe I sat here. I'm replaying it in my head, and people were like, Adonis Arms is going to take us there. Adonis Arms is the guard that's going to take us there. We're going to do that. As a group, we're going to all sit here together and say Adonis Arms is going to take us there. No injuries on Detroit's report. But was he just out for the rest of the – I don't know. I don't trust Florida Gulf Coast very much. But yeah, I'm not doing Adonis Arms to do it. I mean, in 2019, Tech got it done with insane defense, so I'm low-key getting flashbacks. Jordan Smith, let's not do – oh, whoa, sir. Are you about to disrespect Jared Culver like that? You about to disrespect Matt Mooney like that? You about to disrespect the shot-making ability of Davide Moretti like that? Sir, I love you, Jordan, but let's not equate those two teams. Jared Culver's in the NBA right now. There's no NBA guards on this team. Matt Mooney was in the G League team for a long time. Matt Mooney Matt Mooney was a very good offensive player for college basketball. Davide Moretti hit a bunch of clutch threes on that stretch. They don't have anybody that resembles these people on this team. Their best players are all forwards. You're going to have to get the ball to Bryson Williams in the poach and clutch spots. There's going to be turnovers there. You're going to have to get the ball to O'Banner, or he's just going to take contested threes like he has been doing. And sure, Kevin O'Banner, you want to take contested threes, just do it. That'll be fun. But basically, Kevin O'Banner is like a three-point shooter on this team. What Texas Tech did to Michigan in the Elite Eight should be considered a felony. Dude, I can't do it. I can't do Texas Tech, this version of them. I can't do Davian Warren and Adonis Arms leading me to anything. Dude, that Nadolny guy, the little French guy, has to play a lot of freaking – I can't do it. I can get behind a lot of things. I can't get behind Texas Tech going. I was going to start doing – when I do my final bracket run through and finalize mine tonight, I was going to do going through and putting red boxes next to teams that I wouldn't take at all to win the championship, greens, and then sorting it out through there and just seeing and work backwards from the bracket and make sure everything pans out. But I can't. Texas Tech would be a red block for me. I just can't do it. That was a special Texas Tech team. I mean, they barely lost to UVA, who had like 5 NBA players in their starting lineup. Literally, I think all 5 guys went to the NBA, right? Jerome, Guy. Kihei Clark won't go or whatever. But then the other 2, Diakite and Hunter, both in the NBA. They lost to an NBA team, basically. That was an awesome team. That was an awesome Texas Tech team with tons of shot making. This team doesn't have any shot making. Something that scares you a little bit at Iowa State. I just believe in the guys. I get the stats don't say it, but I believe in Brockington. And when Brockington doesn't have a good matchup on him, and then Kalsher's shot making ability, I believe in it. I might just be wrong, but I believe in it. You don't think South Dakota State can beat Providence? They've been lights out offensively. And Cardillo, anytime they played any semblance of athleticism this year, they've gotten fucked up. Even North Dakota State's size, and they don't really have the athleticism part. By the way, that Sam Griesel kid is transferring. If you're looking for somebody, Sam Griesel's transferring. I would be looking. I would be trying to sign that kid. But like any semblance of athleticism has fucked South Dakota State up. And like any guard play has fucked them up. So I trust Al Durham to get to the spots he needs, stuff like that better. 44% 3-point, you don't want to mess with that too much, I get, but I can't see it. I don't think that they have what's going to beat, Kentucky-Arizona championship match was 23-1. No shit. That's kind of nice. Okay, so going off that idea, which teams do I think have that type of shot making? Okay. Running through, Creighton rematch versus Providence would be crazy good. It would. I just can't see Creighton getting by the first round matchup or Kansas. I just don't see them having. I just like what the other teams could be putting out there, especially if it's a close game. Who has the shot making? Some would say Gonzaga was Strother, but I don't think he'll have the opportunities. Is he fucking injured? Why did I not see him last game? Am I just making this shit up and nobody's saying anything to me? Strother's playing, no? Yeah, he played in the final game. In my head, he did. Yeah, okay. Yeah, he just shoots 5 for 6 every single game because he doesn't get any touches. Oh, I forgot. Who do I believe has the guard play to win it all? I think Arkansas maybe does. Duke, I think we can figure it out with the help of the referees. No Baylor, no Michigan State, no UConn. Maybe some far-fetched world where Marquette does, but Kolik's too young. UCLA definitely does. I think Indiana might with Geronimo, to be completely honest. Ah, shit. My phone just shut down. Fuck. My phone has to apparently cool down before I can use it. But we're basically done, which is good. Maybe I'll just make this list of guards I think can win and close it up. But Wisco, maybe? I really like Chucky Hepburn, actually. He's pretty awesome. Iowa, between Perkins, Bohannon's played the most college games of anybody ever, I'm pretty sure. Providence. Tennessee, Arizona, in theory, Illinois, but Curbelo's not playing well enough. I don't think Houston does. I'd like for Kentucky. I guess Virginia Tech in reality, but how the hell do you ever have the perimeter defense? It's basically like you're watching when you're watching Virginia Tech, to me, a lot of times I feel like I'm watching, what's their faces? The Blazers. I feel like I'm just watching the Blazers, but and it's like, oh, Star Murphy's making shots. I love it when Lillard and McCollum are making their shots. All right. Fuck. My bad, guys. Fucking my phone's starting to die, so I got to it just like it's dying, and then when I plug it in for some reason, I think the phone's broken where I charge it from the back and it like overheats the phone. So I have to do the plug-in, which I can't do when I'm doing this. So that's my bad. USC over Auburn, I could see it. I could definitely see it. But I finished up that list while I was off. Hold on, for the person who asked. So ultimately, guard play wise, and I think regardless of the matchup, you can just say fuck you and win it anyways. I think Wisconsin, I think Providence, I think Iowa, I think Kansas, I think Tennessee, I think Arizona, I think Kentucky. I think Virginia Tech is the Blazers in college basketball. Now that I'm thinking about it, I think UCLA can. I think weirdly Indiana can. I'm a huge Xavier Johnson guy when it comes down to it. And then Duke, Arkansas, maybe. Weird list. I have USC in my Elite Eight. The guard play. I was at that game against Washington, and I got depressed watching it. I loved Isaiah Mobley. You guys remember how high we were on USC? Not a Baylor fan? Dude, I've watched too much James Akinjo. I'm not going to do it. I'm not going to do that to myself. What's the point of watching all that James Akinjo if you're going to bet on it here? It's like watching a ton of Fats Russell and then just hammering Maryland every game. Aaron Holtz has a sick death wish, so he's a little different, okay? But Baylor's so injured, shouldn't be a number one seed. I agree. I mean, maybe they earned it and out of respect and stuff like that. I do think you should get respect for being the prior champion. So if it's partly out of that, I like it. How about Boogie Ellis, though? Not for me, Jay Cutler. I was huge on Boogie Ellis. I thought he'd progress and everything. And then I started to remember how Andy Anfield's an absolutely awful coach and how, I don't think he's like he doesn't have enough experience as an actual point guard to do point guard things. He turns it over too much in big spots or takes stupid shots or just gives it to Drew Peterson and gets out of the way. I don't want to do that personally. I wish I liked Boogie Ellis more. I just can't trust him. And against the press the other day, against Washington pressed him at the end of the game, and I swear to God, it looked like they'd never played basketball before. And like they have even Mobley and stuff making stupid decisions, all of them. I think this is where you're seeing a lot of the people forgetting how bad a coach Andy Enfield is, and then they're kind of remembering now. He is an awful coach. I'm sorry, but he is the worst. Andy Enfield is terrible at coaching. Absolutely terrible. I don't care what people say. He's a great recruiter, awful coach. Great recruiter, awful coach. Boogie Ellis definitely isn't a playmaker, but he can catch and fire real quick. So who's going to play make to get him that? Drew Peterson doesn't really pass the ball very much, especially at the end of the season. I don't think Mobley is. Goodwin, probably not. They all look for their own shot once they get the ball. Ethan Anderson, okay, maybe. So if Ethan Anderson dishing to Boogie Ellis beats me, I'm going to have to take some L's in this tournament. I love USC, dude. Monster USC guy. He doesn't make adjustments? No. Andy Enfield doesn't do a lot. I've heard stories. Andy's like come out and said it. The players come out and said, dude, Andy Enfield just goes into the locker room and is like, oh, we've got a game plan. Can't help you anymore. See how it goes. Like that's literally how he does nothing. He just challenges players at halftime. He doesn't make any defensive adjustments or offensive adjustments. Low-key Mobley is the best playmaker on the team. Yeah, he probably is. And he gets the ball in terrible spots. Agreed. Would you tease Notre Dame and Bryant? No, I don't play teasers. I just don't. I've never looked into the math behind them. I don't understand why they were created. The concept of a teaser to me seems like a hoax. It seems like it's not like a Ponzi scheme, but it's like the same thing where it's like, why are you giving me this? Why does this financial product exist? I don't want this. It literally it's like I get there's some things, but then a lot of times they don't even let you on the NFL where teasers are really profitable. Apparently, they don't even let you. A lot of places won't let you tease certain games, so it's like I think they're Momo. It seems like garbage to me. Credit Joe. I will welcome you in. I will send out the bet signals. Kiss under 26.5. The line on Peter Kiss scoring is 26.5. Yeah, I will call out of work, dude. It's about to start. Math almost never works on a teaser. Yeah, I could see NFL with key numbers and shit and how close games are and how much parity there is making a lot of sense. Other sports I don't understand as much. And it just seems a little bit like a scam. Like you're just taking odds from me. So let's see. Yeah, that's ultimately where I end up. So I might end up switching to Arizona as my final pick. Right now I have Tennessee just because I'm in love with Kennedy, Chandler, and Ziegler. I'm in love with them. I'm absolutely in love with the way they're playing basketball. You think San Diego State's defense can give Kansas a big issue, though? I think they'll give them some issues, but I'm not taking Matt. I'll take Matt Bradley to go head-to-head with, Kalkbrenner, who's going to be going up against Mensa, or if you want to take O'Connell just hasn't proven he can hit, catch, and shoot threes, and then also Hawkins is going to be taking deep threes, Kaluma to the rim, not super afraid of. So taking Matt Bradley over Creighton's one thing versus drop coverages where he's going to get the step back, hit his little bunny jumper thing, his little step back jumper that Bradley's actually really good at. So I'll take SDSU. I don't know how they have enough offense to score with Kansas, and even in a tight game, what are you going to do? What the fuck are you going to do to keep up offensively with Akbaji and Braun? There's just nothing there for you. Similar thing to Kansas for me. You can't play drop coverage versus Kansas. Can't do that, so your defense is automatically fucked. So I think San Diego State has a better chance versus Kansas, but yeah, I don't see it. Kaluma sometimes goes God mode. He does. Whoa. That's like a reverse of my actual hat. When you guys send the cap, it's literally a reverse of my actual hat. Yo, by the way, dude, if that costs money, because I keep getting these reports that I'm making money at the end of all these. It says you earn this much. If these things cost money, you have to stop. I love you, but you have to stop. You have to save your money for yourself. You have to. You got to save your money for yourself. I really fucking appreciate it, but anything that's paid on any of these apps, I don't pay attention. I have no idea on YouTube, on here, whether you pay for things or not. If you pay for things, I love you. Casey Merrill, you're my G. You're my G, but no more of that. No matter what happens, you guys always save your money for yourself. What's a horrible bet based on the odds? Duke to beat Arizona at 7,500. I don't know whether it's a horrible bet based on the. I've never looked into Matt. I guess you've got to combine whatever odds on the two of them and do some type of whatever. I don't know. Those are difficult in my head. I can see the matchup, but don't pay for picks. No, paying for picks is crazy. Yeah, if you're paying for picks, I would ask myself, why is this guy selling his picks? Why is he selling them over fucking Google or over this? Why is he selling picks on TikTok as opposed to going and selling them to people with real money that have tens of thousands of dollars to just hand over for one foul swoop? Why are they going to this? They're either smart enough to know it's a content game and that's more important to build a community and actually people that actually know what they're doing, but I don't think there's an in-between. What's your Venmo? Please take my money. I would never. I'll just start accepting some of the ad money and all these other things. The email box is full. Somebody's going to start going through it soon, and we're going to have some advertising. We're going to compile that money, do some stuff with it. We will never take anybody's fucking money. Ever. I think you were kidding. Jay Cutler smokes by your name, but regardless, never. I don't want anybody's money. Unless when we start managing a fighter and people want to buy the fighters t-shirts, we can do that shit. But we are not, there's never. I will never fucking take a penny. Never take a penny. And I'll never advertise anything that doesn't have a free trial attached or something. We're not about we're about making money, not taking it away. We're about giving back. That's literally what makes this chat go. People hopping in and being caring about each other and being yo, I have this information, yo, this injury information, this matchup information, whatever. So okay. Well, if I find more pancake magnets, I'm buying. Tyler B, you're the man. I appreciate that, by the way. We have one coming. There's one legit pancake magnet coming. And it's a very cool pancake magnet. It looks legit like pancake with a little melted butter on top. So I'm a big fan. We do need pancake magnets. Kahan, what up, dude? That's one of my best friends in the chat. No talking travel trouble. I've heard about all the travel trouble. There's just so much of it. I don't know what to do about it. And I think a lot of it got semi-resolved. I know Colorado State was in terrible trouble, and then they ended up figuring some of it out, getting there earlier. Stuff like that. I know there's a lot of travel trouble. Yeah, Longwood I saw got screwed. I saw a bunch of those teams got screwed, but overall, there's so many of them getting screwed. So certain travel spots, I think it's annoying that Indiana has to fly all the way across the country and then play a team with lack of prep. But I don't know how much to factor in that. I mean, Longwood ain't winning either way. They give up too many threes against a team with way too good a guard play, so it don't matter for them. But there are certain spots where I'm like, it's really tough. Aaron Holtz, man. Aaron Holtz, you bring a lot more than info. You do bring info, though. You got the UMD inside scoop, and you bring a lot more than info, guy. Michigan money line tomorrow, not for me, Tyler B. Not for me. I just don't – I get it, and a lot of people – and I think Devontae Jones being out might be for the better, as Jordan Smith said. But it's a guard – and I don't think Colorado State has their roles completely defined. I think Roddy does too much. But there's too big a guard play. There's too big a guard play disparity here for me. Just too big a guard play disparity. I'm not taking fucking Eli Brooks over like Isaiah Stevens and stuff. I'm not doing that. I'm not doing that. You don't think Baylor Shireman can get the Jackrabbits past the Friars? I don't know. People put a lot of faith in Baylor Shireman, like a 6'6" dumpy guy with like a step back jump shot. That's a lot. People put a lot of stock in that guy. Did anybody watch the Washington game earlier this season? Dude, South Dakota State wasn't competitive with Washington. Like literally wasn't competitive with Washington. Like at no time, I watched that entire game. At no time was I like, oh, South Dakota State's going to come back in this game. The entire vibe of that whole game was, holy shit, I don't think South Dakota State's very good. Then I tried to proceed to fade them over the next however many weeks, and it didn't work out great. Covered a bunch of spreads, but didn't get any of my outrights. I don't think they're that good. I think South Dakota State, a lot of it is fucking poor competition. Oral Roberts, way overrated. They only had one other really good team in their conference this year. And I get they're old. They are good, but just you ran into Providence, who's fucking awesome. I just think Providence, the ball, the off the dribble, I think that South Dakota State, there's no way they keep Durham or Bynum contained at all. I don't think they have any hope in containing either of those two guys. And if you don't have hope in containing the two best guards on a good team, then I'm not touching you. So if you hit 50% from three on fucking 40 attempts, then congratulations. My buddy is a diehard Bills fan. I'm going to be expecting a FaceTime very soon. I know that just went over my head, whatever that was. My brain hurts. Wow, Chris Bryant, $182 million to the Rockies. Yeah, there's some good baseball information. I'm excited about the baseball stuff. I saw we re-signed Rizzo, so that made me happy. Rutgers have any chance versus Texas Tech? No, I don't think so. I don't think Rutgers wins tonight. So you don't know how bad I wanted to have a Rutgers ticket tonight. I think everybody understands how much I love Ron Harper, how much money Ron Harper's made us this season. Ron Harper's made us quite a few dollars this season. I can't do it. Oh, Von Miller to the Bills. Oh, shit. Interesting. So many people moving. Wow. I have a huge Rutgers ticket. Good luck, Holtzy. I wish you the best, my brother. I'm hoping Notre Dame misses a lot of shots for you. I don't have that big a Notre Dame ticket, just a 1 unit. So Notre Dame versus Bama, I'll take Notre Dame 10 times out of 10. I don't think Bama punishes them inside. I think Notre Dame's way more fundamentally sound. I think they take care of the ball better. I think they're a better basketball team. I think Alabama stinks. If there's one higher seeded team that I don't think has a fucking chance in their first round game, although I think Alabama would beat Rutgers. Just on pure. The Rutgers scoring droughts, I can't do Rutgers scoring droughts. I can't do them. They're too long. There's too much just dribbling the ball down to 5 seconds left on the shot clock, handing it to Ron Harper and being like, fade away 3 time, buddy. Like, no. Braves future to repeat. I saw Freddie Freeman's gone, though. They just gave what's-his-face a fat-ass contract. I don't like that. Not a big fan of that. Freddie Freeman's kind of the heart and soul of the team. I don't like it when people get rid of the heart and soul of any team. Like, it's like the Cowboys. We got rid of Jalen Smith, and everybody was like, oh, who cares? We saved $6 million. No, he's the heart and soul of our team, even if everybody hates him, and it's an Angel Pagan type of thing. Everybody knows the Angel Pagan story, where everybody hated Angel Pagan so much that the Giants came together as a team, became the closest knit team in the league through hating Pagan so much. Like, they would all sit around and wait for Pagan to leave the locker room so that they could all talk shit about him, and in turn became such good friends that it propelled them to 3 championships in 5 years. I don't know if anybody knows about that, but Angel Pagan is one of the craziest stories of baseball. He literally started a dynasty out of people hating him so much that a dynasty was born from it. That's what a douchebag Angel Pagan is. Literally, he born a dynasty out of his douchebagness. Got Olsen. He's equal to Freddie's production. I think Olsen's unproven. He hasn't played enough consistent seasons for me yet and adjusted back everything. I was talking about it last night with my little brother, actually, because he loves Olsen. And I think Olsen is still too unproven to have given that contract to personally. Oh, you boys are on the Peter Kiss under. Peter Kiss under, huh? I've already got a future on the White Sox plus 1,100. I don't hate that. They're coming. Olsen's really good at defense too, Jay Color Smokes. I agree with that too. So I just said, I don't think, if you have an opinion that he is, I didn't say, I'm not sure. There's not enough evidence for me personally to have said yes. But I'm a very he's a Gold Glover. Yeah. No, defensively, I get it. Tyler Rose, yes, I will get back to you. We'll get back on one of these. I'm going to have my assistant check the dates, like the times on the timestamps, because if I timestamped it too early, I have to give the Matt 512625. He had 16 right, but I snapshot it before he put in the American one. So that's where we're at, this odds, because I was hoping the chat would just tell me what you guys want to do. If you guys are here this long, you're part of the core chat. What do you think? Because I put the American thing up. Maybe I can check the snapshot. She has it on her computer, but I wonder if when it got sent, it also snapshotted from there. Because I feel bad because I put the American thing up late. So if somebody just filled it out all at once and then he saw he didn't do it and he went back and did it right after the first game started or something, I can't really shit on him for that. It's really not his fault, right? So I don't know who to give it to. I don't do fantasy baseball. Yeah, Tyler Rose. Yeah, I know. We'll figure it out because otherwise you guys have a three-way tie and we'll just have, with the three-way tie, you guys are all going to face off on a set of games in the NCAA tournament and then the winner will take all. Because it's just going to be I don't know, however many $100. So I don't want to, or we can get all three of you in the chat at some point. You guys just split it. I mean, either one. But right now, two of you had 15, one had 16, but he entered one of them late. So it's really a three-way tie for 15. But there's 1,000% going to be a prize. I'm not going to forget about that. That was a fun competition. 15 out of 32 is fucking impressive. I got to give out the prize. 15 out of 32 conference winners is pretty damn good. Real quick, do you have either UAB or Chattanooga? I do not, Captain America. I just can't do the matchups. They gave them the nut worst matchups. They just said here, play your older brother. It's well, that sucks. That sucks. You don't usually beat your older brother in sports. Although my little brother and me just had a shooting competition at the range. I got him on the Glock, but he got me on the M5 or 4 we were shooting, and then he got me on the fucking 50 cal too. He got me by that much on the 50 cal, the tiebreaker. It's unfortunate. Wright State moving the ball really well. Really, Aaron Holtz? Interesting. Okay. I'll have to watch that a little bit. Who's better in basketball? I don't know, man. The Asian I'm pretty coordinated, I guess, but shooting a basketball, dude, I'm like a Kamani Edwards. I'm a junkyard dog. I do the little things. When I play ball, I don't shoot that much. Unless I'm going up against somebody who's just flabby. Then I'll take you to the hoop. I'm confused why everyone's rating Houston so highly. They play good defense. They have great coaching. Coaching gets you really far. Kelvin Sampson is an elite coach. Does your brother bet? He does not. He's getting into poker, though. Kid's getting into poker, so I'm going to have I didn't know he was getting so into poker, so I'm going to have him start hanging out with some of my friends out here. But he helps me with MMA stuff. We were watching I had him watching the Arnold Allen Dan Hooker fight yesterday because we were trying to figure out who's going to win that. That's going to be a really good fight. I think they both have good advantages. He's a freshman in college, Aaron Holtz. He's a freshman at Rutgers. So he's been out here for the last 4 or 5 days or whatever. My dad was here too. My dad left yesterday, and then my little brother's leaving tomorrow morning to go to Arizona State for the weekend to visit any of his friends. Anybody in here from Arizona State? But he's going to visit a buddy because they have different spring breaks. But yeah, I have a sister and 2 brothers, so there's a whole crew. But yeah. So this is where I end up. I don't know. I might flip-flop to Arizona in the final. I don't know. I'm going to have to figure that out. I don't know. Might flip-flop to Arizona here. We'll have to see. Anybody got any last emos? Otherwise, I will definitely I have to drop him off the airport in the morning. I'll be on tomorrow for sure.
I might have to mess around with the times because I have a couple work calls. We're like redoing something for UFC. Tom Aspinall. I'm still on Tom Aspinall this weekend. I don't care what a public site is. I don't give a shit. I'm hammering Tom Aspinall this weekend. Who's the best coach in the tourney? Is it Sampson? I think Sampson's a great coach. I think Mick Cronin's a great coach. I think Few's a great coach. McKillipson, Calipari. Probably Calipari. Jay Wright. Jay Wright's probably, earned that answer. Although he doesn't have the top-end NBA talent he normally has. So when everybody's just penciling Villanova in my opinion, they don't have any NBA players on this team. I don't think there's one NBA. Maybe Samuels. But I don't even think – I wanted to think Slater was. But Slater's a senior already. He really hasn't progressed enough. I don't think Slater can really make the NBA. There might be one NBA player on this fucking Villanova team. I have Nova losing to Sister Jean. I wish I didn't hate I liked Sister Jean. I wish I didn't hate Loyola so much. I just despise Loyola. Coach K. Yeah, Coach K doesn't care. You like Providence, huh? Lee Diesel, I do. I don't see any reason not to like Providence. Everybody that's not on Providence just keeps citing luck and shit like that. Everybody just keeps saying it's luck. I get there's some free throw and 3-point-ish numbers. A lot of that has kind of evened itself out a little bit. And then it's like end of game stuff where everybody's just like, oh, they're lucky to be winning all these close games. If you watch Providence at the end of games, they are not lucky to be winning anything. Providence makes damn good plays at the end of games. That's why they win. They let their guards put them in the right spots to win, and that's why they win games. They go toe-to-toe with whoever they need to go to. I just don't see South Dakota State just scaring them by scoring way too much. You're from Chicago. Makes sense. Gillespie is the perfect March point guard, though. Kind of, besides for the fact that, like, you put somebody athletic on him, he can't do anything. So I think Lil Horman, I think he's awesome besides for that. I think he's super physically limited. I think he's super limited kind of as a person, as a player. Like you see anytime he like late game offense where they were just like, yo, just you take it yourself. It ends up pretty poorly every time. I don't know. I've never been a huge Gillespie guy personally. I like him, I guess, as like a player, but as like a number one on a team, closer, everything, do-all point guard, that's like basically the whole team. Yeah, I can't do that. I don't think Villanova has a very high ceiling, which is why I have them getting knocked out early so they don't have to face Tennessee and ruin a party for me. There's something about Kennedy Chandler to me. And I keep saying for the last like 2 years, I've basically said as soon as Tennessee gets a closer with this group of supporting cast, I have to take them to win a championship because I think they're so close. I think Rick Barnes is such an awesome coach, et cetera. Loyola over Nova. The only problem is I have Ohio State beating Loyola. So that's a problem for me. So I have Ohio State beating Villanova, which seems like a little bit of a stretch, but so you got Zona over the Bulls in the Elite Eight? No, I have the Bulls. I think Tennessee would beat Arizona, but I think Arizona would beat Villanova. Jay Cutler smokes. So that's how it works out for me. So if the Bulls can get by Villanova or don't have to play them, I think they have a path right up to the championship. I really do. Because I think they beat Kentucky again. After watching however many times Kentucky and Tennessee have played, I think the talent wins out in that matchup. They just do. Never trust a Buckeye, Jordan Smith. Great start for Wright State. Good for them. I have the Bulls in my championship. Yeah, we might. So I have Arizona over Kentucky or Tennessee over Kentucky, but I have Kentucky losing either way. I wish I could pick Duke to beat Kentucky in the Final Four, but I can't. I just literally I'm like every time I'm like, well, I think Kentucky's going to have like however many more possessions and take this many better shots. It just doesn't matter to me. I get Kentucky over Bulls. I just don't think there's a way now that the Bulls have kind of figured it out. I get Kentucky also shot terribly in that last game against them. I think they were like they were shot like 10% from three or something, didn't they? So I can kind of see it. There's like the intangibles for the Bulls guards in that matchup give me problems. They give me problems. I have serious problems with that. So this is where I end up. My phone's about to die, so I think I'm gonna head out. Go get smoke a doob and go get some food with my little brother. I think I want to eat. There's like this Italian dish at a place near my house that's like pappardelle. Anybody know what that is? With the short rib and the horseradish. I'm fucking craving some horseradish right now. Tshiebwe is the most impressive player I've seen all year, begging that he can sag him. Tshiebwe is NBA ready to make an impact. I agree with that. My brother is 19, I think. How fucked up is it? I'm banging a girl that's the same age as my little brother. Fucked up. I said I wouldn't go past my little sister's age way back because she's 26 or whatever. She's like 28. We have a 3+ year difference. So I was always like, I can't go down that far. I'll always go older. I've always liked older girls. But as I get my older age, I'm like, I like it tight. I want to stay tight. I don't want them to ask about the marriage. No marriage, stay tight. No marriage, stay tight. Nah, he doesn't bet. No, not 18. Not 18. Actually, she's just turned 20, Aaron Holtz. Just turned 20, so I can say that now. I do, but I was just dating a 23-year-old for like 2 years. So, I know it is good. It is good. I fucking gave him. All right, Credit Joe. Good luck, brother. Oh, fucking gave you the rest of the day. Good shit, Credit Joe. So yeah, I'm gonna go deal with all that. Anybody last things? We'll hop on tomorrow because I've dropped my at the airport at like I think 9:30, super early. So I'll be able to do. Oh shit! Tomorrow it starts. All right, so I'm gonna post whichever I end up choosing, Arizona or Tennessee. I'm going to end up choosing, and then I'll post my brackets, like snapshots of my brackets, I guess, to this. Well, I guess I'm also going to have it on the bracket thing. How old are you? Sharp Plays, I'm 32. No, my brother did not introduce me. He lives in Jersey, dude. He's in Jersey full time because he goes to Rutgers. No, I just know the girl. Most of the girls I meet are through the dogs, but weirdly, this one's not. But most of the girls I meet are through the dogs or like at wherever. I don't really go out as much. And when I do, I'm like with all my poker buddies and stuff, or like, I'm not like in a club being like, hey, or at a bar being like, hey. So I meet them a lot where it's like, oh, you have cute dogs. Oh, yes, I do have cute dogs. Oh, I'd like them. Oh, why don't you come back to the house after dinner and get really attached to them and think you'll be back all the time and then not be back ever? Who you got winning? It's Arizona or Tennessee for me. Those are my two choices. There's something about that Arizona team that's got juice, but like there's also something that's like the dual point guard thing is like, is that going to work? Hello, David. Who is that? With the New York Yankees symbol. I think that's most likely Webb. If I had to guess, I'll hit you back, dude. My brother and my dad are here. That's why I haven't been picking up. I got to call everybody back. I got a long line of missed calls. I've been trying to just spend time with the brother and dad. Thoughts on Kentucky? I have them. I have Arizona or Tennessee playing them. I think ultimately there's too much for them in those spots, just whether it's the physical intangibles of being too big or the physical intangibles of being too quick. Ultimately in that spot. Channy! Oh, Chan on TikTok. Holy shit. I got good support. Two of my best friends are in here right now. Good support from the boys. Chan, I'll see you tomorrow. Or Friday, I'll pick you up in the morning. Thoughts on St. Peter's? It's such a bad matchup. Could it be a worse matchup? I think they can actually cover and give Kentucky a hard time. Yeah, I just remembered that. Friday, you're correct. I think St. Peter's can cover and give them a hard time, but like I have to basically, Eater is like my favorite part. Like I have to bank on like Doug Eater, like a 5'10" Jewish kid fucking to ball out here and take down Kentucky. I think their length out in front and stuff can give a lot of problems. So I think they could definitely cover versus Kentucky, but taking Doug Eater to just drop like a little Jewish kid to drop 30 is going to be a problem. Can Loyola Chicago beat Ohio State? Yeah, I think Loyola Chicago is favorites over Ohio State now. I think it's the pick and roll for Loyola Chicago with like Kennedy and Norris and stuff, if you want to take that route, or you can go the OSU route and believe in Branham and Liddell. And I think Liddell has a monster game. You buy low on OSU as probably a slight dog by tip. That's probably what I'll end up doing. That's what I did in my bracket. This is not that bracket. Do you like Peter Kiss? No, he's soft. Texas or Virginia Tech? I think the popular pick is Virginia Tech. I'm going to end up going with Texas. I think that they're going to have a really, really difficult time taking. I think Virginia Tech's not going to be able to stay with the guards when push comes to shove. I think they are. Then once it happens, they're not going to. I think Allen's going to be a bad matchup against like a Luma. I think he'll be able to just take them off the bounce. Going to be a lot of responsibility on Mutts at the rim. I think Texas can hit the outside shots it needs. I just think, I don't know. Feel like Texas is a really good matchup for them. Do you like Peter Kiss? No, just describe me. Aaron Holtz with what? Does Akron have the guard play to beat the Bruins? No. No, they don't. UCLA has to play really bad in that game. I mean, Akron's forwards can score like 25 points each off the 5'11" and Jewish Aaron Holtz. Well, I don't have to take you to beat Kentucky. We probably have a lot of Jewish people in here. All my best friends are Jewish too. So we have a high Jewish to Gentile ratio in this chat right now. And someone you wouldn't trust to drop 30. Yeah. I can't trust you to drop 30, Holtzy. Storm Murphy went to a rival high school of mine, Big Fade. Little Horman, interesting. Yeah, he seems like a little bit of a weenie to me. All right, boys. I'm going to head out of here. Chan, I'll give you a call in a bit. But my phone's literally at 2% and is about to die any second. So I'm just going to head out. No, Yale can't upset Purdue. I think Purdue stinks and Yale can't upset them. I mean, I guess Purdue could just throw the ball out of bounds on every play. That's certainly viable. But Yale should be like in Georgia State's place. Yale should be like a 16 seed. They stink. Did you see right after that game, every kid on Princeton transferred? Just up and transferred right after the game. They're all like, nope, never again. We're not doing our grad year together. Def not in a D1 game, maybe a kindergarten game. Yeah, I can't do Doug Eater that heavy. I think my favorite underdog picks of the first round would be Marquette. I see as like a 3 and change dog versus UNC. I like Iowa State as like a 4-point dog versus LSU. I'll take Notre Dame as whatever dog they'll be versus Alabama, although it's going to be short after Notre Dame just pummels Rutgers today. If you want to take Vermont versus Arkansas and just clench your asshole for a ton of turnovers at Arkansas, I can see it, I guess. If you want to take Boise State, I can't get mad at you. That's a pretty good matchup for them. I just don't think they'll have enough offense to get over the hump. Georgia State covers against the Zags. I agree. I think that's a good matchup for them. But I don't think they can win outright. Marquette, yeah, I think Marquette beats UNC a very high percentage of the time. Marquette has Shaka Smart as their coach, though. UNC has Hubie Davis as their coach, so that's not good. Not good for either team there. Well, Shaka is known for the first-round exit unless he's not, huh? In that one season, he wasn't. What's another good dog I want to take? I think if you take Indiana first round, I think Indiana first round versus St. Mary's and just pray that they like St. I don't know. If I'm telling you, man, Indiana gets by St. Mary's and they're going to run train on this fucking bracket. They're going to run train on this bracket. You heard it here first. I think they can even beat Kentucky. Nah, maybe not. But I think they can get to the Elite Eight. You just need to beat the first one. Then you beat the rest of the guys. The rest of them fall in line pretty easily for you. You could beat UCLA. You have a wonderful matchup against UCLA, as good as it gets. You just got to get by this really tough Randy Bennett short notice kind of matchup. And you're flying all the way out to Purdue now to Portland now. I think that regional's in Portland. Dude, Chan, I have the Hoosiers. I think the Hoosiers can go to the Final Four easy. I really do. Yamatax, I appreciate it, man. I've been getting a lot more of those messages, so I'm trying to, I know the last few days were with my parents here and stuff, my dad here. It was, I'm not as whatever, but I'm going to put this will turn into you will get to listen to a lot more of me talking sports. I promise. At some point, this will blow up into a lot more. Do you think Michigan is better or worse without Jones? Probably better. It's probably a little bit of the addition by subtraction alongside like a Nembhard with Creighton. I think it's very similar. I think like Foster Lawyer before he came back with Davidson, you saw how smooth that offense was before he came back to fuck it up. All right, I got to go more Vermont research. Aaron Holtz, I'll talk to you soon, my brother. What about Jaws alma mater against Frisco? No. Yes, I'd rather be on. I think Masalski there is really bad. Chan, why don't we just talk it a little bit? Start a podcast. I know, man, it's so hard for me to do. I need to get my assistant on different hours, and instead of cooking all my food and doing stuff for the dogs, I'm gonna have her just work on this stuff. Because if I can handle the like social media, I just have a hard time with doing it all. It's less the recording. Like I have the information, I can sit here with you guys and stuff, but like that and like doing trends so people actually listen to so it's like more appealing to look at my TikToks and stuff and posts. All that stuff I have to do a better job at because I think I'm wasting a lot of time and I have to do some more planning. Somebody recently said to me that planning is the most important part of what I should be doing, and he's right. I need to be doing a lot more planning. I don't plan anything. I just go live or post whenever the fuck. What do I do for work? I do this. I bet on sports, dude. I used to work for a big fashion company. Now I bet on sports. I invest in other things, I guess, too, but mostly sports betting on like a day-to-day basis after the first 2 hours of the day. Best players to go after in a player pool. Team stays throughout the whole tourney. Toshibwe #1. Oh, it makes sense. That's a fucking cool pool. Oh, wow. Maybe Kennedy Chandler. Can you get Kennedy Chandler in there? Can you get Gabe Kalsher in there? Give me some Gabe Kalsher at a cheap price. No way. Tyler B., you're a project planner for a living? No kidding. I have a civil engineering degree. I almost did a lot of that's fucking cool. A lot of project management stuff, though. You'd think those skills would translate. I just don't understand the internet. I'm not from the internet. We had dial-up when I was a kid. I didn't do Instagram in college. When everybody else was doing Instagram, I was spacing out and doing copious amounts of drugs with a couple of the other kids in this chat, actually. My best friends that are in here. Copious amounts. Was not focusing on curating Instagram content. I'm not as good at that. I was focusing on making my face as numb as possible. So now that I've switched, I have to learn those tools. Yama Tax, alma mater is Lehigh. I don't know if you know Lehigh, but it's where CJ McCollum went, but it's like a small engineering school in Pennsylvania. So yeah. All right. I'm going to head out in 2 minutes. You have Iowa as champs. I do not, CJB. I wanted to do it, but I am starting to think that they're not as good as I thought they were. Illinois just sucks. The Big Ten just sucks. And Indiana basically should have beat them, but they went crazy from 3 in the last few minutes and cost me a plus 210 ticket, and I shouldn't overreact. I'm 31, and TikTok is hard for me. Tyler B., fucking agree, man. It's very difficult. I have no idea how to use the trends. Like I watch when everybody says go watch Book It with Trent, you got to go with Book It and Trent. I watch that kid's TikToks and I'm like, dude, I think this kid is must be 15 years younger than me because he's so good at the talking and the ticking and the making the trends and stuff. And I'm like, I don't even know how to find the trends, let alone to then make the video about them or incorporate the sound or whatever it is. It's like, I don't even know how to find them in the first place. So how the fuck am I going to get that far down? You dropping plays tomorrow before tip-offs? Marty Lane, we start at 12:15 Eastern, which is 9. I will make sure that there are picks out before 9 o'clock for the first. I should be able to. You would think I'd be able to. Yeah, I will. I have all the information. Yes, I should be able to. I basically know what I'm taking. Yes. I'll make sure posts are up. For anybody that's before, there's a bracket contest in the bio. For anybody in the link tree in the bio, for anybody that wants in our group, maybe I should make a video tonight about that alongside the picks for tomorrow. I'll do that. Yo, did you fade Tennessee and go Zona? I hope Zona plays Tennessee. Awesome matchup. I think it happens. I would not. I will only take Tennessee if they. I will only take Arizona if they lose to Villanova. I think Tennessee versus Arizona. I love that dual point guard thing. But how the fuck are you going to guard Ziegler and Chandler, whoever's on the court? Both would be even worse. But I guess you give up some on the offensive end. But how are you ever going to defend that with those giant guards and stuff? With like Kier's big too. I mean, you just don't really have anything to defend that. And I think that's just a problem for that matchup. Without some like strict defensive identity or some type of thing that's really going to fuck it up, I just think you're going to have problems. 6 people are in. I like it. From the chat. I'll make a video to try and get more of our group in, but I'm sure people will go look. Will you hate me if I fade Duke round 2? Yes, Chan, I will. I will hate you. But I'll make a post about entering that bracket contest, and then I will post picks for tomorrow in a competent time. And other than that, I think we're good. I think we're Gucci right now. I think I'm going to start my day. 26-26, Bryant Wright State. I probably should have. I got to check out that game, although I guess it really doesn't matter. Yeah, I'm not. I guess I did finalize my picks. I think you can change them. I'm doubting my Tennessee pick now. And Cardio, my confidence got chopped in half through this live stream. Just because I started thinking about, I mean, I wrote a note literally saying I'm praying for Villanova to lose so they don't have to play Tennessee, who will beat them, who they beat. So that makes it tough for me because I'm dreaming a little bit to get Tennessee there. Tennessee also doesn't fall into the efficiency categories you normally want to see. Like top 25 offense, top 40 defense, or reversed, whatever it is. They don't fall into that. They'd be the first team to win in fucking 25, 30 years that hasn't fallen into that. Same thing as like if Baylor or any of these teams that lost in the first weekend of their conference tournament, no team has won the championship that's lost in the first round of the conference tournament in over 25 years. That would be another thing. So yeah. Sweet. I took under 73 first half and Bryant plus 2.5 first half. Oh, nice. Yeah, I don't know. Just gun to my head. I just don't know if Wright State can solve the zone over the course of the game. We'll see. I mean, they have 28 points through 5:40 through less than 15 minutes. It seems like they've solved it to some extent. Who's your pick for March Madness list of 5? Oh shit, my buddy is supposed to. Yo, I gotta run because my buddy's doing a freaking what's it called right now, and I gotta hit him up. He's doing a draft thing for it. If I had to pick 5, I go Tennessee, Arizona, Duke, Indiana, Kentucky, UCLA. I thought I was going to have some crazy sleepers to win this year. It's just they fucked them all. They literally just fucked them all. So just they really gave them bad seats, really bad. Nova, nope. I'm not doing. I can't take those guards. I don't think Jay Wright has the NBA talent to win this year. He always, every time he's won, he's had NBA talent. People fail to forget that. Like it's still, yeah, he's an amazing coach. He has NBA talent. There's not an NBA player on this team besides maybe Jermaine Samuels. So no, not for me. No, Nova for me. I hope everybody has an absolute. I'm going to call my buddy. I hope everybody has an absolutely wonderful one. We will definitely go live tomorrow. So we'll be in the middle of the games. We'll probably go live like in the middle of the like Boise. I guess no. San Diego State Providence game will tip off right before we go live. So we'll watch some of that together. So we'll watch South Dakota State Providence. Maybe the back end of the Colorado State game, I guess, too. So we'll talk soon. Oh, no, that's Eastern time. We'll watch the end of the Iowa game. Oh, there's a bunch of games that tip before I live. I see why you were asking if I was going to post. I'll post before. Hope everybody has a wonderful one. I'll talk to you guys soon. Peace, boys.